going on, my beautiful people? Welcome back. You're here on another episode of the Golden Gems podcast. And hey, you here to get some late night gems with your guy. You understand me? So don't matter if you're seeing this today, tomorrow morning, tomorrow night. Make sure whatever you do, you get your snacks ready. You grab your little popcorn, you grab your little drink. I sit back and relax because we got a lot. And when I say a lot, we got a lot to get into. Today's episode, man. Hey, we talking about that boy Shedeur Sanders. Is it Shedeur's job to lose out in Cleveland? And hey, with the propaganda starting tomorrow, with the propaganda starting this week, with the propaganda that we gonna see, I'm gonna tell you why we ain't worried. I'm gonna tell you why you should be encouraged, and I'm gonna tell you why potentially Shedeur Sanders, this is his job to lose. So we're gonna get into it all. Then we're gonna also talk about the Falcons and just how not so good they looked in that first preseason game. Are we losing hope for him? Is Sabotage Stefanski, his time in Atlanta going to be short-lived? We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. Jayden Daniels, him in, that number 5, that jersey. It's a little drama surrounding it. I believe he should be potentially worried a little more about, what's going on the field this year out in Washington. But we're going to talk about why that number 5 means so much to him. We're going to also get into that guy, McCarthy, because he lost his job after being the first-round pick a couple years ago. He lost his job to Kyler Murray. They just drafted that guy. They just had him, predicted to be their franchise player, had him looking like he was going to be the guy for years to come. And it turns out he wasn't. So we're going to get into that. But without further ado, folks, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead. Hey, can you please run an intro? We got a lot to talk about. Come on. Come on.
Yeah, hey, we live now, really.
Hold on. We live? Hold on. Hey, can you see me? Mama, we made it. What's going on, my beautiful people? Yeah. Let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, we got a lot to get into. We got a lot to talk about. And also, I forgot to mention, we will be talking about some of my picks. Yes, some of my picks to potentially be Super Bowl contenders from every division. We're going to get into that at the end of this episode. So without further ado, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get into it. But before we get into it, you got to do me a favor. You here with your host, Relay Gems. You can call me Maine. You can call me Relay. You can call me Mr. Wilson, whatever you want to call me. Please, just don't call me Collect. But please, I got this favor that I ask you. Please make sure you send this to your mommy, your daddy, your best friend of another friend, let Johnny, let Timmy. And don't forget little Susie, too. Little Susie, she need these gems as well. And little Josh just moved across the street from her. So everybody got to get these gems. So make sure you ain't being selfish and keeping all these gems to yourself. But without further ado, y'all. Without further ado, we're going to talk about it all. We got to get into it all. And you know that the propaganda has already started. The propaganda has already started out in Cleveland. I told you what the Cleveland media was going to do. I told you what was going to happen. I told you what was going to go on. All right. Yeah. Shadeur is good. And so do you, Jay Riz, because we all know Shadeur is good. Shadeur going to be just fine, my folks. Shadeur going to be just fine. But I thank you for coming in at this late hour. All right, it's not the typical time when we do business, but tonight, yeah, we had to get on a late night stream. Yes, we had to do it. But whether you're watching this tonight, tomorrow, next week, next month, it don't matter. I appreciate you getting these gems. But we got to talk about the propaganda because it's already started, folks. We got to talk about it. There's enough data now for Todd Monken to name Deshaun Watson the Browns quarterback and get to preparing for the season opener. Tony Grossi's latest on the Browns quarterback battle. Well, Tony, can you come into the front of the congregation, please, sir? My kind sir, my good man, can you come into the front of the congregation? My kind sir, can we please have a conversation about it? And can we please just talk about it for 2 seconds? My good sir, Tony Grossi, you know what Todd Monken said today? You know what I spied with my little eye? And we gonna hear Todd Monken talk about it, folks, because they so badly want, Deshaun Watson to be handed the job now. But my good sir, the battle and things would only be fair. Things will only be fair if they both get a bite at the apple. We already heard Todd Monken say that potentially some starters will not be in next week when they're going against the Bills on Saturday. So Shedeur, like Deshaun Watson had in the first game, Shedeur will not have all those weapons out there. But I hope he at least has a few of them. So the ones we know, come Saturday, a lot of them won't be out there, but a few of them will be. So Shedeur, we ain't getting the same treatment Deshaun got, but that's okay. That's okay, because we got to see this QB battle all the way through. And with everybody saying, and with Mary Kay even bringing it up, you know what? We're going to get to the juicy stuff of the interview. I'm not even going to play with you. We just going to get into the nit and gritty of what everybody had to say, because Mary Kay, you asked a question of Todd, didn't you? Well, Todd, what did you have to say about Mary Kay asking you this question, Todd? You know Mary Kay, y'all know how Mary Kay do. She ain't slick. She going to ask. She going to be a little extra. But Mary Kay, can you dispel this little narrative? Because we're going to get back to this real quick.
Next, we'll go to Mary Kay.
We're going to get back to it real quick. Mary Kay.
Yeah, Todd, just wondering, when I'm looking over the practice schedule, the way that you described it, it seems pretty heavy Shedeur for this week, with him going Monday, Wednesday, then half of Thursday, then starting the game on Saturday.
Oh, wow. Pretty heavy Shedeur this week, huh? Interesting.
Saturday. Is there a concerted effort to really give him an opportunity to, see what he can do in this competition and really make a strong case for himself, or what is sort of the philosophy there?
Well, at this point, Jake and I again met earlier, and we're pretty balanced at this point, within reason. I mean, it's not going to be perfect. So if you're going to alternate it, Wednesday, well, first of all, tomorrow will be in shells. We'll go an hour and 45 minutes.
Yep.
Wednesday, we'll go in shorts and get a lot of red zone work.
Yeah. We're looking at it. We see it, Todd. We see the schedule.
We'll get a few more reps in those days, and then we're going to try to split the reps. So there wasn't really a concerted effort. It's just you were going to have to decide who goes what days and who goes the others, and how we get it as close as we can, again, to giving them an opportunity to let their talent shine.
And what does Shedeur need to show you this week?
Hold on, Mary Kay, you asking a little too many questions, Mary. Settle down, slow down, Mary, because we got to dispel the first little rumor first. Because I'm happy about this. Shedeur Sanders, at the end of the day, folks, this week, hey, it's a lot on the line. This week is our week. This week, we got to pop out and show them. Period, point blank. This week, Shedeur, ain't no time to play, ain't no time to sit, ain't no time to question, ain't no time to ponder. It's time to put in the work. It's time to show up and show out. Period. Practice schedule of this week. You see it Monday, Shedeur Sanders going with the ones and it's shells. Tuesday, Deshaun Watson is going with the ones in pads, and that's okay. Wednesday, Shedeur Sanders is going with the ones. And then Thursday is going to be split. Shedeur get some with the ones. Deshaun get some with the ones. This is perfect. I love it. And then we start on Saturday. Folks, the reason why this title said it's Shedeur Sanders' job to lose, well, let me go ahead and tell you. It's Shedeur Sanders' job to lose. Because Mary Kay, as much as she talk, as much as she always poking and prodding, today she might have got us all the answer to many of our questions. Today, Mary Kay, I'm not going to lie to you. With you asking all them questions, I believe it led to us getting a very prominent answer. Because, folks, the season is less than a month away. Week one was week one. You know, we had an interception. We're going to talk about that here in a few. You know, it didn't really go our way. Y'all saw what grade I gave Shadeur. It was a C minus, D plus on a good day. You know, but that's okay. Because Mary Kay, what you ask why you asking all them questions. Asking all them questions. Why you asking all them questions, Mary Kay? Well, there's one good question that you asked, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it real quick, folks. Because this is going to kind of get you to understand why the title is a title and why I believe this is Shedeur Sanders' job to lose. Mary Kay, what you asking all them questions?
Yeah, Todd, just wondering, with this being such a
With this
big
question.
week and with the regular season opener less than a month away, what gives you a comfort level that you can still afford to split up the reps like this and really still alternate these guys and pretty much not know what your situation is going to be until after this Bills game, probably?
First of all, look at Todd's face. He like, dog, y'all know I got a whole football team. Todd, like, I got other players on this team, right? And all y'all tend to ask me about, especially you, Mary Kay, is about these quarterbacks. I understand it's a talk of the town, but I want to hear a little bit about KC Concepcion from time to time. I want to hear about that defense from time to time. I want to hear about other aspects of the team other than the quarterbacks from Todd Market. But it's okay. Today we focusing on the quarterbacks. And Mary Kay, you just asked one key question. Mary Kay, you asked one question that was key, and I appreciate it. Because you said it. Let's play it back.
Split up the reps like gives you
Next, we'll go to Mary.
the regular season opener less than a month away.
With the regular season opener less than a month away.
What gives you a comfort level that you can still afford to split up the reps like this and really still alternate these guys and pretty much?
Well, folks, I believe it's Shedeur Sanders' job to lose. Because, Todd, we're going to have you answer the question why you splitting up these reps like this. But I just want to interject. Shedeur Sanders, with him getting the start this week, y'all, I'm not going to lie to you. We got to look into it a little bit more in depth. We got to look into it a little bit more with a microscope. They play in less than a month. Deshaun had first at bat. We understand that. Shedeur Sanders came in at second. You know, he came in second. He got off to a good start. We had the interception, which we're going to talk about here in a few. But with him going this week, y'all, multiple times with the ones, then again on Thursday, then starting on Saturday. Around the NFL, if you don't know, this week, for most NFL teams, this is really this is really the game week. This is really the week where you get the most preparation. This is really the week where you see where you're starting either defense or offense is. This is the week where most NFL teams, you're going to see it around the league. They start their quarterbacks who didn't play in the first week potentially. They start their defense, some of the starters. Because at the end of the day, they want to get a good look. Because next week, that's going to be the week for the 3s and the 4s. Yeah, you might ask, why would they not wait until next week to put the starters out there for most NFL teams? Well, they want to give some of them players a little rest. Give them a multiple time week west. Because you know, when the preseason over, you only get 1 week off, and then the following week, you get back to play. So most NFL teams, you know what they're going to do? They got some veterans on them teams. They're going to rest them and give them 2 to 3 weeks before they play their first game. So that way they get that training camp, the nicks that they got maybe during training camp, maybe those little, scratches and bruises they got during training camp. They can ice them up a little bit. They can recover a little bit longer. So pay attention to some of these NFL teams playing some of their starters, getting some of their players ready, because this is the real dress rehearsal week. I'm just saying. And with Shedeur Sanders getting these reps this week, folks, the reason why I'm putting a spotlight on it, because, dog, Mary Kay said it. Hey, Todd, Todd, Mary Kay asked you. And now I want you to answer the question, Todd.
What gives you a comfort level that you can still afford to split up the reps like this and really still alternate these guys and pretty much not know what your situation is going to be until after this Bills game, probably?
Why?
Well, again, I did feel
You idiot. Y'all still don't know. Look at Todd. Look at the little smirk after he said that, y'all. Because Todd, no, they still haven't figured it out. They still don't understand Shedeur is a guy. But they proceed to spread this propaganda. They proceed this week. It's coming. Tomorrow we're going to hear about it all. Deshaun Watson, they might as well just start him. They might as well just cut everything off. Cut the looses. But Mary Kay just said, Todd, the preseason opener, y'all been splitting these reps so much. Preseason opener, a little bit away. Todd, I believe you put, look at that smirk. Todd, I believe you slide dog you. I believe, and I could be wrong. Chad, I could be wrong. But Todd, I believe potentially you had Deshaun Watson go first for a reason. Not because y'all ain't want him to start at home, but because you already know in the back of your head it's Tu's job. You already know in the back of your head with Shedeur going this week, with Shedeur getting all the reps that he's going to get a few weeks before the season starts, with him going on with the ones a majority of this week, and the QB competition still potentially going on, because we know at the end of the day, we know they're going to continue to ask about the quarterback. We know at the end of the day, you can continue to have your hand, Todd, because you can. Let it be the element of surprise. And I appreciate that. But I'm looking into Shedeur Sanders getting all these reps this week. I'm looking into him getting his start this Saturday with the ones. Deshaun Watson, you had the whole first half. And with 2 quarters, our guy almost accomplished what you did in 1 quarter. Yeah, Shedeur Sanders. We're going to get back to this graphic. Yes, Shedeur Sanders, guess what, folks? He did throw an interception. But I'm here potentially also allow us to take a deep dive into that interception. And we're going to get back to my point being that this is Shedeur Sanders' job to lose with this practice week schedule, with this being week 2, with this being a dress rehearsal week, I believe. Because Todd Monken also said he didn't game plan for the Bears. He didn't game plan for the Bears, y'all. Some people ask, Todd, what you mean you ain't game plan for the team? Todd, what you mean? Hold on. Before we get to this video, this interception, before we wind it back, let me take y'all down a journey. Because Todd smirking because Todd know you ain't figured it out yet. Y'all ain't even game plan this week, Todd. But I bet you they game plan this week. They will also next week. But they ain't game plan against the Chicago Bears. Why you ain't going to game plan, Todd? Y'all went out there, yes, and you said it. You said it. Y'all went out there just to see at the end of the day what the quarterbacks were comfortable with doing. You didn't care what the defense was doing. You still was going to run what you wanted to run in your plays on offense. You didn't care on the defensive side of the ball what the offense was doing because you still was going to run your plays on the defense. You didn't game plan this week for a reason. Y'all can go back to last week's video. I kind of do want to show it, but I'm not. Go back and watch the press conference from yesterday from the game. Tom Monken say they did not game plan. So in the game that Deshaun Watson started, why wouldn't y'all game plan? Maybe because it's the first game. Boys just getting their feet wet. But this week, Shedeur Sanders starting. Yeah, he ain't going to have all the starters this on Saturday, but I think they might game plan just a little bit just to get them in that flow. Because like Mary Kay said, y'all, the season's less than a week away. Right? Not a week. My bad. Excuse me. A month. So as the season gets closer, you probably start wanting to do some of those things. And who's starting when y'all doing some of those things? Interesting. Interesting. But let's get to this interception really fast. All right.
All right, so a lot of people are wondering about this interception from Shedeur Sanders. It's pretty bad at first look, but not so fast. Look, here's slow-mo. And I noticed this watching it about 30 times. Watch this ball flip right there. You see how he flips and spins the ball? Well, a lot of times what happens is when you are playing quarterback and the center is –
and this is a former quarterback. If you don't know Jayden Daniels, he wasn't all that. He wasn't like that. He was just okay. He was just average. But he knows about the quarterback position because he played in the league himself. He's a former NFL quarterback. Chase, continue, my good friend.
This is like third, fourth quarter is just dripping wet. His butt's just dripping wet. Or his face mask is dripping. It'll drip down on the ball. And when they snap the ball back, I've had this happen before. You can catch it in a certain way. You see him spin it once. He actually spins it twice right there because the ball is either drenched where your thumb is. And that's the biggest thing. If your ball is completely dry, but just drenched where the thumb is, good luck throwing that. I guarantee you there was some type of wetness on the ball. He tries mid-drop to spin it, which is really impressive. But as soon as that
definitely impressive
thumb hits and it gets wet, man, good luck throwing the ball. So I'm guessing this ball had to have slipped. There's just no way that it can be that bad of an overthrow.
That's a fact. And what did Shadeur say, folks? Shadeur literally said that it did what? The ball slipped. And he just showed you proof. He even tried to get it right because now if I show you the same footage, if I show you that same throw, right? If I show you that same throw in full speed, right? If I show you that same throw full speed, let's talk about it. If I show you that same throw full speed, you're going to see the ball flip in real time, right? So let's go ahead. Let's watch it. Full speed.
Trying to support.
Hold on, chat. Give me 2 seconds. I literally just muted. That's crazy. Boom. Watch it. Boom. You saw him flip it. I just wanted to show this. It still don't excuse him throwing an interception. At the end of the day, it's going to get cold. It's going to get rainy out in Cleveland. You playing in the Midwest, Shadeur. So, hey, we can't have no ball slipping, period. No excuses. But, you know, there was a reason behind it. Right? You can't help but see the ball flip in real time. So, Shadeur, you know, hey, we don't want that. We don't want that. We can't have that. But, chat, at the end of the day, that his hips, his body, his head, his feet, his shoulders, everything was in the right position. That read was a good read. The guy was wide open. So, yeah, he sailed it. Yeah, he said, what'd he say? Shedeur came out and said it. He said it what? It slipped. And guess what? It'd be like that. But Shedeur, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie. I know it slipped. I know it did. All right? But we can't have that, big dog. We can't have that. But it's okay, though.
What I see, the right read, just slip, you know. The right read, it just slipped. So that's what makes me be mad a little bit because of it. But you know, I don't, any decision I make, I know it's the right decision. I just didn't execute the decision, but the right decision was made. So every day I look and I see about decision making, like how's my decisions I'm making, and that's how I grade myself off of. You know, obviously, turn the ball over and all that stuff is not great.
I love the response, chat.
Survive a long time in the league doing that. But
you're right.
As long as my eyes and my feet and everything was in the right place, being able to execute it just may happen. So I look at the positive of things. You know, I'm alive, I'm breathing. I'm able to come up here and talk to y'all. So, you know, I can't be that down.
And I appreciate that goddamn response. 1, he took responsibility for it. 2, he told you the reason whether you want to believe it or not. 3, at the end of the day, man, like you said, ass, feet, body, the right read, everything was correct. He just missed a throw. So with that, I just wanted to touch on that because I want y'all to understand this week, This week, you're going to see a lot of propaganda and way more than this. You know, you're going to see a lot of propaganda and way more than this. There's enough data out there for Todd Monken to name Deshaun Watson, the quarterback. Okay. Okay, well, let's see if Todd Monken named the quarterback. Because all I know, we're a month away from the season. Ty, why you got so much comfort? Because you know at the end of the day, the Shedeur Sanders, even if he's not ready, as the season goes on, Shedeur Sanders is going to improve. As the season goes on, he's only going to continue to get better. And if it's close, if this race is close as it is, you're always going to get to the younger guy. So he's not worried about splitting reps because at the end of the day, hey, we saw Shadeur come out there in that second half. Cold as ice. First throw. Boom, put it on the money. That boy going to be ready. No matter when. He been getting first team reps. So when the decision is made after this weekend, after they done with the Bills, when Ty come out and say, you fools, it was 2 all along. Hey, we going to look at folks like this, people like this, and we going to say, man, the propaganda was alive and real. But that's all it was propaganda. Right? But anyway, let's continue, folks, because not all that you're going to see this week is going to be propaganda. You might see some people like me. You might see some people like my good friend, David Carr, come out and say the real. David, can you come into the front of the congregation and talk to my people, please? Please.
Point is, I'm not making the same mistake twice. Turnovers are going to be a major category that Coach Monken is looking at. What did you see as that second half was unfolding?
It's funny, as you watch him, I love his perspective. Every time I get a chance to hear him talk, it's hard not to like this kid because he's got conviction about what he's doing, and he's talking about
David Carr, former NFL quarterback. Somebody who's not afraid to call a spade and not afraid to just tell us how it is. So, David, I'm sorry for interrupting you. Let's go back a little bit.
Every time I get a chance to hear him talk, it's hard not to like this kid because he's got conviction about what he's doing, and he's talking about the right things. It's
hard not to like him. So if you do hate him so much, if you do dislike him so much, I think you might just have to look at that reflection, my friends. But anyway, David, continue.
It's the process of making the right decisions. Okay, physically, there's not a lot of things you can do about having pressure in the pocket and not being able to finish your throw. Obviously, he can drive it better. I mean, you can talk about physically, getting downhill and really making that throw. But I thought for the most part, when I watched his feet and his eyes, we talked about this with the Eagles the other day, with Jaylen. It's your eyes and your feet matched up. He looks so much better to me than he did last year in the pocket. I even love, you can't do anything about these, right? These things happen. He had a couple of those. It's about just feeling more comfortable in the pocket maybe, but this is very similar to the throw that he threw an interception on. He made the throw, so it's not like he can't do it. I do like the process. There were times here he's going forward in the pocket. I mean, this is it's a positive, it's a 2-yard play, but last year that might have been a 20-yard loss. So I just love the fact that he's climbing in the pocket. That's brilliant. That's so good for a young guy. So let's have some patience with this kid. I don't know if he's going to win this job. Who knows? Deshaun, he played well. He had a fumble. He had some scoring drives. Deshaun has the experience. He's making a lot more money. So, I mean, there's some things like Cleveland's going to be like, well, we might have to play Deshaun. But you know what, Shadeur? I don't care what happens. Stay with the process, man. That's a good throw. He could have caught it. It's a good throw. It's on time. I just watch him from this year to last year. It's night and day to me.
And we appreciate that, Dave. We appreciate you saying it's night and day from this year and last year. But if you're looking at it, chat, if we're looking at it, our guy, he didn't play that bad. And for those of you who even in the chat saying, oh, here we go, you're going to show the same video, you make an excuse for Shadeur throwing an interception. Dog, ain't no excuses for Shadeur throwing an interception. I literally just told you at the end of the day, no, we can't have none of that. I don't care if it slipped, guy. Hey, my guy, it don't matter. Because you're playing in Cleveland, you're playing in the Midwest. There's going to be rain, sleet, snow, rain, hail. There's going to be a lot going on. The weather ain't going to never be perfect, especially in the Midwest. Fall is coming up and winter going to be right behind it. But we saw last year, Shedeur showed us that he can play in the elements. He showed us that, hey, at the end of the day, hey, he can still go out there and deliver. He showed us that. Because in both those, probably since they played the Chicago Bears even last year in that game, wet, rainy, cold. When they played the Bengals, same thing, cold. When they took on the Steelers, cold as H-E-L-L, hell. Cold as hell outside. So with that being said, we know Shedeur can play in the elements. But Shedeur, ain't no excuses for the INT. So, hey, my guy, Jay Davis, 2842. Blue 42. Hey, I appreciate you, my guy, but hey, we ain't making no excuses over here. He know we can't have no interceptions, period. We got to take care of the ball. Period. You know that. But hey, make sure, in the meantime, continue to like this video. All right, make sure I know, hey, you don't keep all these gems to yourself. Make sure you send them around too. But Todd, why you got asked so many quarterback questions today? It seemed like they didn't stop at all. But that's okay. Because Todd, I want you to answer one more question from me before we go ahead and move on. All right, just one more. Todd, can you come back into the front of the congregation, please? Because now I got to wrap this thing up in a bow. Because I told y'all with this practice schedule, I told you what I thought. I told you. I'm looking into it. I told you at the end of the day, it's a reason why Todd doing this. It's a reason why it's Shedeur Sanders' job to lose. Shedeur Sanders has to go out there and just look pathetic. Look like he can't throw from the side of the barn. Look like he throwing interceptions. He having fumbles. He has to look bad for him to lose his job. Because if it's close, give it to the young guy. If it's close, give it to the guy where you got him on a contract for dang near only $3 million for the next 3 years. If it's close, give it to the guy who's already young, who came in with that draft class last year with Quinton Junkins, with Harold Fannin, with Mason Graham, with Carson Schlesinger. He came in with them boys. He was part of that class. The class that's the new Cleveland class. The class that's going to change Cleveland as we know it. Shedeur was a part of that class. So what we waiting for? Get that man the reins. You got 2 first-round draft picks next year. What are we sitting worrying about? What are we thinking about? We got to see what we got in that young man. Give him the full season. Todd Monken is making this race fair for a reason. Because, Todd, you know Mary Kay asked you what you want to see from our guy. Why is he even playing? Todd, you 2 weeks away. You're a month away. The season is approaching. Why are you giving Shedeur Sanders still all these first-team reps and the season right around the corner? That's because it's his job to lose. That's because it's his job to lose. Because it's close. If it's close. I'm sorry, Deshaun, if it's close, we can't do no more for you. You were supposed to blow him out the water. You the 10-year vet. But it's close. Deshaun, I'm sorry. You done played 5 games for us in the last 19 years. 19. You done played 5 games for us in the last 5 years. So, Deshaun, at the end of the day, we know what you can do. We know what you got. We already paid you over $200 million, so what's another $40 million? I'm sorry, Deshaun, if you ain't blowing Shedeur Sanders out the water, if you ain't beat him and make it to where it's not even close, to where it's not even a decision for Todd Monken, I'm sorry, Deshaun, but hey. And yes, Dylan Gabriel part of that draft class too. We can give Dylan Gabriel some love. But at the end of the day, I'm sorry, Deshaun. We got to get with this new Cleveland movement. We got to let this young core start developing. And we got to see if this guy, Shedeur Sanders or Dylan Gabriel, is the guy for the future. Todd Monken is ready for the future. He ain't bring Deshaun Watson on. But he was right because he said everybody was going to take the test. Todd Monken said everybody was going to take the test. Todd Monken said that everybody was going to get an opportunity. Todd Monken said that he ain't this guy from a can of paint. Even though one guy, we know who he wanted them, once upon a time. But he gave both guys a chance to take the test. So he kept it fair. But Deshaun is a 10-year vet. It's close with this young guy. I need to see what I'm doing with these first round draft picks next year. With these 2 first-round draft picks that I got next year, I got to see what I have in them. So Deshaun, I'm sorry, baby. It's close. And with that, we got to see what our future is going to look like. We got to get this young man a runway. Todd Monken, hey, Mary Kay said it. The season's right around the corner. Can we hear her say it again? Y'all want to hear her ask again? The season right around the corner, Todd. Mary, can you say it again? One more time, please.
Yeah, Todd, just wondering, with this being such a big week and with the regular season opener less than a month away, what
Todd
gives you a comfort level that you can still afford to split up the reps like this and really still alternate these guys and pretty much not know what your situation is going to be until after this Bills game, probably?
Because y'all think I don't know. Because y'all think I don't know what the decision's not already made. We didn't game plan for the Chicago Bears and Deshaun Watson. Go ahead. First, Deshaun, we gave you a chance, but it's close. And now this week, hey, Shedeur, if you ball, hey, ain't going to be no more questions asked. Ain't going to be no more questions asked. Ain't going to be no more questions asked, Shedeur. Because now, with us being so close to the season, my guy, let's put up a shut up. But it's your job to lose. Because Todd Monken, hey, Todd, we know what's up. We know why you said you was giving Shedeur still reps. But think about it, chat. Why still give the man reps? That's because at the end of the day, we're still developing him anyway. Chat, can I talk to you? He's still getting developed anyway. So me giving this man reps, it don't make a difference. He's still going to get better as the season goes regardless. No matter where he's at now. But he's right there with Deshaun Watson right now. So imagine how he's going to be by the end of the season. Imagine what he's going to be in a couple of years. Potentially down the road. But if we looking at it, Todd, what do you want to see out of our guy? He knows at the end of the day, it don't matter if Shedeur going with the 2s, with the 1s. I want him getting comfortable with both. Because at the end of the day, my guy, we're still developing you regardless. It's only year 2 for you. You still got to improve regardless. So it don't matter if you go with the 2s or the 1s, you still getting better. You still getting developed. The season 1 month, less than a month away, yeah, that's cool. We're not worried because at the end of the day, whether you go out there, you do bad your first 3 games or you do good, you're still going to get the full runway if you're starting the season off and you're my starter. So what's me having you split reps right now? It's close. So if it's close, I mean, at the end of the day, there's no questions need to really be answered or talked about. Because if it's close, Shedeur, go ahead. We got to see what you got anyway. Shedeur, you started in the second half. We wanted to see what you had. Just in case. If we, start Deshaun, right? That's why Deshaun, hey, this week, we ain't game plan last week, but this week versus the Bills, Shedeur starting. You're gonna have to come off the bench like Shedeur did. So let's see if you're gonna be able to. Because if you can't, because they're gonna compare both halves. They're gonna compare the half that Shedeur Sanders had when he came in that second half. That's being evaluated. Just like Deshaun Watson first half is being evaluated. Just like this week during practice, all this is going to be evaluated. All this is going to be evaluated. Just like Shedeur Sanders on Saturday will continue to be evaluated. But they're evaluating Shedeur Sanders regardless, chat. That's why we ain't worried. They're going to see what they got in him regardless. So, yes, I'm still giving them reps because, yes, I'm still trying to develop him. Deshaun Watson, you've been in the league 10 years. If you don't, hey, if you ain't beat out him, if you ain't got it by now, if you still ain't got it, what we still looking at? But, Todd, go ahead. Talk to us. What you got to see from Shedeur?
You this week. This seems like a pretty big week for him, obviously, with getting the start and everything. What are some things that you would really like to see from him this week?
Well, he's improved so much. I mean, he really has.
Well, he's improved so much. Yeah, that's why it's still a battle going on. Tom Munkin originally said, if you remember, I wanted my starter by the end of OTAs, or I wanted my starter by the beginning of training camp. It has been the end of OTAs a month or two ago. It has been the beginning of training camp about 2-3 weeks ago. And Tom Munkin still haven't had a starter yet? That's because they like, damn, if Shedeur coming along this fast, if Shedeur looking this good, why not give him the full runway? They see what he has. He does good. Hey, we good for the future. He does bad. Hey, potentially picking top 5. It makes the most sense. We gave Deshaun Watson a chance, but Deshaun Watson can't even prove that he's better than Shedeur. So what's the point of still looking at that? We gave him the opportunity, but I want to see what the second-year player got. But what you want to see out of him, Todd?
As in terms of climbing the pocket, working
with getting the start and everything. What are some things that you would really like to see from him this week?
Well, he's improved so much. I mean, he really has in terms of climbing the pocket, working through his progressions. I think that's a big thing. Even on the one that he threw to 81 in the slot, like he drifted too deep. I mean, we caught him in the blitz, but they weren't even close, created kind of his own pressure. There's some things he can, and then operation, it's still a part of it, getting into the huddle, getting lined up, getting the call. So does Deshaun.
You see how when he said operation, he like, hold on. Well, I can't really say operation because Shedeur ain't had no pre-snap penalties. Shedeur ain't have no delay of games. Shedeur ain't have to have, we ain't have to take a timeout for Shedeur. He said, damn, I can't really say that, the operation, because Deshaun kind of effed that up yesterday. But anyway, continue, Todd.
They're both in the same manner, so we can stack plays together. We did a good job. Maybe the most positive thing we did yesterday was we overcame some penalties. For God's sakes, we overcame the first 25. We overcame a couple other penalties, and we hit that big 3rd and 13. Shedeur did. So how can we play cleaner at all positions? And certainly with him, how can he play cleaner?
Next, we'll go to Jeff.
Period. How can he play cleaner? He's been playing clean all camp. Ty's been witnessing with his own eyes. That's why he said, even on interception, he's like, damn, I can't even really say too much about the interception. Because shit, he doing practice, and practice is practice, yes, but we taking practice into account. He's been taking care of the ball. So on that one, if it doesn't slip, it's a completed pass. But the fact that it did slip, all right, no excuses. We already owned it. We're moving on from it. SO to him. But with Shedeur Sanders, dog, everything is still right there in front of him. So with these reps this week, got to make every single one count. Got to make every single one count. Every single one. Period, point blank. And if he does, dog, hey, y'all play the Jaguars in 4 weeks. Come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. All we need to see is consistency this week. All we need to see is him put it together this week. That's it. That's all. That's it. That's all. But Todd, I got one more question for you.
With the quarterbacks, Deshaun going first and then Shedeur as it was in Chicago and vice versa, do you script the start of each halves or the start of each of their sort of their times out to sort of maximize their opportunities there? Or do you, once you get into the flow of the game, whether it's whoever's coming in the third quarter, fourth quarter, do you sort of just kind of let it ride there?
Well, the opening script we did for Deshaun, and then when we get together at halftime, it's a little bit easier. It's a great question. When we're able.
They ain't game plan. They wasn't supposed to game plan, but they usually do script the first 15. And we did that for Deshaun, but what we do for at halftime with Shadeur, we ain't have to worry about all that.
Able to go on defense to start the second half, it's easier because hell, it's only 13 minutes at halftime to try and.
Nah, Todd, don't go around the question, baby. You did it for Deshaun Watson for a reason. Because we wanted to see him come back. We wanted to see what he had. We had to give him the runway. Get him in rhythm like he was. Deshaun Watson, don't get it twisted. Deshaun Watson played good the other day. Deshaun Watson, he came out there and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He played in rhythm. He played on a little on time. We reviewed the clip from yesterday. We reviewed it. But that's the thing. With us even reviewing it, it's still some things he could have done better. It's still some things he could have cleaned up. But that's the thing. As a 10-year vet, it shouldn't be many things that you got to clean up. It shouldn't be many things that you got to do differently. That's why Deshaun, at the end of the day, if you ain't blowing that guy out the water, then what are we really talking about? 19 games in 5 years, Deshaun. Not enough. We've seen the script. We've seen what you got. So now it's on to phase 2. We moving on.
All right, what are they doing? What do we want to stay out of? We were getting double cat, so we were trying to fix it on the sideline, some of the runs we liked. And then what did we with another script for Deshaun?
Also,
specifically for Deshaun, to make him feel comfortable, to make him at least look a little bit presentable. But if it's close, oh, my bad, chat. If it's close, ain't no conversation really need to be had, man. Ain't much to really talk about. Ain't much to really have a conversation about. Because if it's close, the tie goes to 2. Period, point blank. So with that being said, now it's time to move on. Because like I told you, it's a reason behind why Shedeur Sanders is getting a start this week. It's a method to the madness. And it's the home opener. As long as he goes out there and he shows that elite playmaking that we hear so much about, dog, everything else is going to take care of itself. Shedeur Sanders is going to end up exactly what we want him to be. The tag going to go to the young guy every time because that's how it typically goes. Regardless, Shedeur Sanders, whether he starts the season or he doesn't, he's still getting developed and he still will play this season. Because at the end of the day, Cleveland would be stupid. It would be malpractice if the Cleveland Browns did not see at least what they had in Shedeur Sanders this year. So regardless, he going to play. But with Deshaun Watson, if you ain't blowing him out the water, what are we really talking about? Come on, man. Come on, man. Todd. Yeah, I see the plan. I see the plan. And then with this being week 2, with Shedeur Sanders, hey, being in front of that home cloud, hey, maybe they showing us a preview for what the season got to come. Just saying. We didn't game plan really for the Chicago Bears. We didn't scheme up much. But this week, while we playing the Bills, a playoff contender, a team with Shedeur Sanders, did he not do well last year against the Bills? Did he not do well last year against the Bills, y'all? Did y'all not almost beat Josh Allen and them boys last year? Interesting. Is this not the closest thing to not a playoff game, but the Bills, they're a playoff team, are they not? They're going to be a playoff team this year, the Bills are. And who getting most of the reps this week versus a playoff team or expected playoff team? This week is so important because of the joint practices. And this is when we really going to see which quarterback is what and what they can really do. So best believe we're going to be talking about the joint practices this week, especially come that Thursday. We're going to be covering it here. So make sure you come back and get these gems. But chat, it is for a reason. It is for a reason, chat. It's for a reason why he's getting this start. So always understand that and remember that. Because Todd, we see behind the curtain. 4 weeks until the season opener, and our guy still getting first team reps? Why? Why? It's a reason. You know, if you go out there with at least Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, at least a few of those targets, with a Harold Fannin, with a Quinchon Junkins, for a series or two, just give us a series or two with our guys. Let us lead a few scoring drives. If Shedeur Sanders leads a few scoring drives this week, multiple touchdown drives, hey, that might be all she wrote. Because if it's close, then what are we really talking about, chat? Just saying. So, hey, it's Shedeur Sanders' job to lose. And this week, Shedeur, would you get these reps, these looks, 4 weeks out before y'all first game? It's a reason, dog. It's a reason that you still get first team reps. It's a reason why they still preparing you. So all this propaganda that we're going to hear about Deshaun this week, I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it. So, yeah. Regardless, it's close for a reason. But it's Shedeur Sanders' job to lose at this point. He just has to look like he's been looking during camp, and he's going to be just fine. Now, with that being said, we're moving on, folks. We're moving on. All right, we got some other topics that I want to hit on because as y'all do know, as y'all boys and girls do know, that man Stefanski, hey, he might have something to worry about, chat. He like this guy. He like they brought this guy in to take my spot. Penix, you got to get healthy, baby. Penix, you got to get healthy. Moving on to the Atlanta Falcons and talking about Kevin Stefanski. Because I believe the Atlanta Falcons fans, by the end of this season, they might just run that boy. That boy Stefanski. They might just run that boy out of town. I'm not going to lie to y'all, chat. I'm showing this for a reason. Because by Cleveland Brown fans, it could be worse. It could be worse. At half in their first preseason game, chat. At half in their first preseason game, it was 0-24. Crazy work. Crazy work by Kevin Stefanski. Crazy work. And chat, you know something? I don't want to see this happen to Kevin. I don't. But dog, if we being honest, Kevin, this is nasty, man. This is nasty. Because you went from Cleveland and not giving our guy a shot to now this. Hold on, chat. My bad. Tua. Let's take a look at it, chat. They already got blooper reels out there, and they only play one preseason game, chat. Is that a pick six? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Another pick? Oh, but what? Interesting. So, chat, when I tell you things can be worse, things could be worse. We can still have this man, Kevin Stefanski, out here doing nasty work. Kevin Stefanski, I need you to come into the front of the congregation, man. Kevin Stefanski, I need you to come and talk in front of the congregation, please. Because I believe the Atlanta Falcons fans, they're going to get you up out of there. Keep on playing. They're going to get you up out of there. They're going to get you up out of there.
Coach, thank you. We know you've been here in Atlanta, and it looks like you're going to continue that streak.
People dressed up as empty seats today, so.
What? Sean Payton out here throwing shots like that. A lot of people dress up as empty seats. Atlanta. No. Y'all ain't rocking with Stefanski? Might be a long season out there in Atlanta, chat.
Coach, thank you. We know you've been here in Atlanta, and it looks like you're going to continue that streak.
People dressed up as empty seats today, so. Anyway.
Thanks, Coach.
A lot of people dressed up as empty seats today. Oh, you can see it, chat. Atlanta said, no, we ain't coming. And the crazy part is, they got a hell of a talented team. From Bijan Robinson to goddamn Pitts to goddamn London. In the defense with Jesse Bates in the what? I know it's preseason, chat. But this might be what's to come out there in Atlanta. This might be what's to come. Are we foreshadowing something? I don't know, chat. Is this what Kevin Stefanski get for playing around with us last year? I know it's just one preseason game. But this is what happened over in Atlanta Friday. And I'm only putting the spotlight on this because Kevin Stefanski played around with us last year. And I remember that. And I got some receipts. But Atlanta, I can understand your pain. You get a player suspended for 8 games. Punt, interception, punt, pick 6, punt, TD, punt, turnover on downs. Holy cow. Will Atlanta be the worst team in the NFL this year? Even with all that talent, will Kevin Stefanski F it up this year in Atlanta? I think so. I believe so. So, folks, Cleveland, we're going to continue to give Ty Monken a chance, man. We're going to continue to give Ty Monken a chance. Because it could be worse. It could be worse. Just saying. All right, chat. So we grateful that we don't got Kevin Stefanski or Sabotage Stefanski anymore, as I like to call him. But Atlanta, I'm going to pray for you. I promise I'm going to pray for you, Atlanta. Everybody in Atlanta, I'm going to pray for you. But ain't it kind of ironic how Kevin Stefanski got another quarterback problem out there in Atlanta? Because Michael Penix, even with him doing all this pointer, hey, even with him doing all this, man, hey, it's kind of wild, man. It's kind of wild how that quarterback competition is going. At least he ain't lying to people talking about it's a competition when it's not. At least y'all got that going for you, Atlanta. But, yeah, this is going to be what's to come out there in Atlanta, man. But the fact that you had the head coach of another team say it's a lot of empty seats out there? Man, hey. That just goes to show you the city and the people of Atlanta, they ain't rocking with you, Stefanski. They not. We didn't, and I'm happy you're gone. Because at least we got a real competition this year. But anyway, all right, chat. We're going to leave the Falcons where they at. We're going to leave them right where they at. All right. But I just wanted to talk about them, because they are one of the, teams in the NFL. But Kevin Stefanski, yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. We gonna pray for you, my guy. We gonna pray for you. But it might just be what you get. Don't play with God. People, you might just get what you get. Anyway, Chad, we moving on. I quit.
Coach, thank you. We know you've been here in Atlanta, and it looks like you're going to continue that streak.
People dressed up as empty seats today, so.
A lot of people dressed up as empty seats. And yeah, it's on the preseason chat, but I'm telling you, that's probably how it's going to look like. Because Atlanta already ain't rocking with them. And the fact that y'all got Tua, man, cut it out. Cut it out. Anyway, chat, all right, we're moving on. All right, next topic. Next thing that I want to hit on. All right. Just one more time for this. All right, just one more time for this. He like, y'all thought he was going to be better than me. Him? Out of all people, him? All right, I quit, chat. I quit. All right, but moving on. We got to get into Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels and this jersey controversy. All right, we got to go ahead and get into it. The Bears Stadium was pretty empty. Yes, the Bears Stadium was pretty empty But honestly, it kind of wasn't because I was in the stand and I was there. It wasn't really empty. Obviously, with the Chicago Bears, I promise you every single game is going to be packed because the Bears are supposed to be good this year. With the Falcons, y'all definitely should have had more fans in the stands because, yes, it is a preseason game, but people tend, even like season ticket holders, they're going to sell them tickets. And people usually who really can't go during the regular season, they always end up going during the preseason because that's when the tickets are the cheapest is during the preseason. So the fact that y'all ain't had nobody in there, that's a problem. But the Bears, it was some people in there. I was there. Y'all saw the breakdown videos. Those was footage from me. I was there in the flesh. The Bears Stadium, it wasn't packed by any means, but there was still a lot of people in there. You can still hear all the boos. When they was booing, when refs made bad calls, and, when they was cheering for the other side, everybody was going crazy up in the Chicago Bears Stadium in Soldier Field. So just throwing that out there. But anyway, let's continue.
Jayden Daniels' attorney has informed LSU that it can no longer use his name, image, and likeness in a cease and desist letter. The issue stems from LSU allowing cornerback DJ Pickett to wear the number 5, the same jersey number Jayden Daniels wore when he won the Heisman Trophy at LSU. In a statement, the Daniels family is deeply disappointed and feels profoundly disrespected by LSU's decision to give Jay's number to another player. Jayden and his family had every reason to believe the number would remain meaningful part of LSU's legacy and would be honored and protected in recognition of his extraordinary contributions to the university. Ocho?
Yes.
What's going on here?
Ocho, we'll save your opinion for a second. But I got a few things I want to say. But Ocho, actually, we'll go ahead and let you get yours off first.
I mean, I kind of see it, Uncle Joe. My understanding, I think maybe how many players have won the Heisman Trophy at LSU?
It's only been 2 Heisman Trophy winners at LSU. Jayden Daniels, he was one of them. I wanted to show that part because at the end of the day, I believe Jayden Daniels, his jersey, with him only playing one season at LSU, yes, he won a Heisman that one season, but he didn't lead them to the college football playoffs. And then on top of that, believe it or not, he won the Heisman, but that team was, they was average at best. They were average. So with that being said, with him winning the Heisman, with him being obviously the rookie of the year, him having a season that he had, and him making a name for himself his first season and his second season, because he still played all right last year, even though he was injured for a lot of the season. With him doing all those things, I believe that at the end of the day, what we worried about was going on in college football. You deserve to have your jersey retired, yes. You deserve at the end of the day to, if they say they're gonna retire your jersey, they gonna say ain't nobody else gonna wear it, then I believe they should stand behind what they saying. They should stand behind what's going on, period, point blank. And the fact that they not, I mean, at the end of the day, that should just show you their true colors. But you shouldn't be worried about it for it. You shouldn't be worried about it. Because you, my friend, you should be worried about having a bounce back season this year. Because your rookie year, making it all the way to the NFC Championship game, oh, yeah. You proved that you potentially could be one of them. But last year, you ain't do nothing. So we expected a lot from you this year, period. We expected a lot from you, Jayden, this year. So with Jayden Daniels, with us and having the expectations for you to ball this year, Jayden, your focus should be on your squad. Should be on going crazy this year, this season. Not really on somebody wearing your jersey. But we get it. It's sacred. You don't want anybody. You don't want anybody wearing it. But it don't seem like they're going to change their minds about it. Just say it. Roll the clip. Oh, my bad, chat. Hold on. My bad. Ain't no audio to it. All right. This is the guy whose jersey? Well, he's the one who's wearing the jersey now. Hold on. Where's the audio? Oh, my goodness, chat. That's on me. Hold on. I got the audio for you. Give me 2 seconds. All right, give me 2 seconds. All right. Let's get to it. Got a better angle for you anyway.
I wore the number my whole life since I was 4 years old. It was a number I was promised. And I wish Jayden the best. Good player, and he did real good here. So that's all. I wore the number my whole life.
Hey, he kept it simple, short, and sweet. He said, hey, Jayden, we understand. We appreciate you, big dog. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. But for you to be considered a dog, you got to do it for consecutive seasons in a row. Yes, Jayden, they appreciate what you did. You won the Heisman. But they still got to get recruits. This boy, for him to even be wearing your jersey, that must mean he got to be him. That must mean at the end of the day, he got to be one of them ones. And if he's not, then yeah. If I'm you, then I get the lawyers involved. Because why is he wearing my jersey? He's trash. That's when I get mad, Jayden. I'm not going to lie to you. That's when I'll be mad. But, you know, he had a good, he said, hey, I've been wearing this number for forever. They promised me that number. I told them if they didn't give me that number, I was not coming to LSU. So, hey, I respect it. I get it. I understand it. I respect the young man. But, Jayden, you got bigger fish to fry, my guy. You got way bigger fish to fry. With you not having a season that you were supposed to have last year, dog, hey, we all having a spotlight on you. Because you got to have a season of seasons. Because if you don't have a good season this year, my guy, hey, them 200 M's, them 200 plus M's that was coming your way will no longer be coming your way. But let's hear from my guy one more time.
I wore the number my whole life since I was 4 years old. It was a number I was promised.
I was promised.
Yeah, and I wish Jayden the best. Good player, and he did real good here. So that's all.
He basically said, hey, Jayden, we appreciate you, but my guy, I ain't giving my jersey up for nothing. Nothing. So, Jayden, focus on balling this year. Nothing else matters. Nothing else. I mean, we can care less about everything else. Right? Woo. But we going to see. Because the pivot, they also had something to say about this situation. Let's get into it.
Number 20, that was worn by Billy Cannon in 1958 when he won the Heisman. It's never been worn. Joe Burrow finished school in 2019, 2020, and it's never been worn. I don't know if we have a rule. That is just a tradition that is carried on at LSU. I don't believe numbers in college should be retired. Alabama, they give those numbers away right away. Indiana, they give those numbers right away. I believe they can put the number in the rafter with your name. They might give you a statue if you want that, but the number should be worn because that's how people can still remember who you were, right? And it's college, and there's 100 people on the team, and the best players wear single digits and all those things. My biggest issue, though, is people pitting Joe and Jayden against each other and trying to act like Jayden wasn't that boy at the school. Right? It was a different time. I think Joe's the greatest player to ever play for LSU. I think he's at the top, and I think you talk about the Tyrann Matthews and the Kevin Fulks and the Leonard Fournettes, but Jayden Daniels is in that conversation.
That's facts. But Joe Burrow, he won. That's why I paused it right there, chat. Joe Burrow, not only did he win the Heisman, and you got to understand, LSU is LSU. LSU is LSU. Legendary. The cream of the crop. One of the top schools in the SEC for ever. Been that way. But Joe Burrow won a national championship, won a Heisman, had one of the best seasons in college football, period, as a quarterback. The best statistical season ever in the history of college football. So I understand them not playing with his jersey. Jayden? And then also with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow was there for 2 years. Jayden, you was on there for 1 year, big dog. 1 year? What am I supposed to do with that? Yeah, you want us a Heisman, but you ain't lead us nowhere. You ain't even lead us to the college football playoffs. Now, if you went on in the league and you won you a chip or two, you out here going to Super Bowls, then it's like, yes, cease and desist, stop playing with my number. But when we compare apples to apples, Joe Burrow, he did have a better career than you at LSU. He did win a national championship for LSU. If they told you they was going to retire your jersey, then point blank, they should have just retired your jersey and left it at that. Because if your jersey retired, then usually the player who wants to wear the jersey at the college, they will reach out to the NFL player or whoever to ask them. So if he didn't reach out to you, if they didn't ask you for permission to wear the jersey, which it doesn't look like they did, then that's wrong. Especially if they told you they were going to retire it, that's wrong. But if it didn't go down like that, and they just didn't give nobody your jersey for a couple of seasons, and you assume that it was retired, and you didn't have a jersey ceremony, and your jersey wasn't on the stands or in the rafters or whatever, however they do it there at LSU, then my guy, you have no dog in the fight. You have really nothing really to say. Yes, LSU only has 2 Heisman winners, and that's Joe Burrow and himself, Jayden Daniels, and Bobby, the long time, years ago. So 3 Heisman Trophy winners. And you happen to be one of them, Jayden Daniels. I mean, if they didn't really retire it, then don't trip. But I can understand why you tripping. I get it.
Burrow won the national championship because he was great, but 14 people got drafted in that next draft. 10 people got drafted in the first 3 rounds. 7 people got drafted in the first 2 rounds.
Yeah.
And later on, the next year, Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall were drafted in the first 2 rounds. Derek Stingley was then drafted number 3 overall. It was a different deal, that team, as compared to the teams that Jayden played for. And people were talking about not winning. They were 10-3.
But you talking about the teams they played for. Dog, we talking about them because we talking about the individual. Ryan, we talking about the individual.
And in the games they lost, they gave up 45, 42, and 55. They could have had Tom Brady, and it wouldn't have mattered. And so to me, for former players and for fans, remember what this young man did. There was 5-5 seasons, 6-7 seasons, 7-6 seasons. The 2 best seasons you have had since the national championship, Jayden Daniels was your quarterback. And he has never, ever misrepresented his school or himself by the way he conducted himself.
You make a good point, Ryan. You make a good point. That itself is convincing. I'm not going to lie.
And whenever this is solved, we should welcome him back.
But
we should love on him, and we should be grateful.
And then if you don't know, Ryan Clark did go to LSU, so he's allowed to talk on this subject. That's why I'm showing it.
For what he did, because you can't take away 5,000 total yards and 50 tubs in 12 games. I do think we need to be fair about that.
Yeah, you got to be fair about it. But we ain't talking about the different teams. Because we compare Jayden Daniels and Joe Burrow, I'm always going to get the edge of Joe Burrow. Jayden Daniels, LSU just don't appreciate you like they said they do, big dog. Yeah, you have the right to feel away, right? You have a right to feel away, does he not, chat? But he didn't win him a natty. He didn't. Guns N' Roses, yeah, you saying it right. Yeah. But regardless, We shall see, man. We shall see. Jayden Daniels, though, not gonna lie to you. Not gonna lie to you. You should feel away. But also, too, that should just show you how they feel about you. So take it as a chip on the shoulder. Take it as, at the end of the day, dog. Take it as, all right, when I'm winning championships in the NFL, when I'm balling in the NFL, winning MVPs, and y'all want me to come back, I'm not. Until you officially retire my jersey and stop letting people wear it. Until you officially retire my jersey and stop letting people wear it, I'm not coming back. And if I got to win championships and ball, win MVPs in the NFL to convince you, then that's what I'm going to do. But then again, like I said originally, if they promised him that they was going to retire his jersey and ain't nobody was going to wear it, even if it was a different coaching regime, even if it was Chip Kelly and them boys, if they said, hey, ain't nobody going to wear your jersey and we ain't going to hand it out to nobody, and this new coaching staff with Lane Kiffin and them boys, they just happen to get your jersey out because they promised it to that kid because that's what they told him when they recruited him, then Jayden, you got to take it up with the new coaching staff. But, hey, like I said, Jayden, you got bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry, Jayden. All right? We ain't worried about all that. All right? We ain't worried about it. We ain't. But regardless, though, I understand what you're saying. All right? I respect it, Jayden. I do. Now, moving on, folks. Moving on up to the east side. But next topic, though, folks. Next topic. All right, we got to talk about that man, J.J. McCarthy. All right, because that man, J.J. McCarthy, that man, he lost his job. He lost his job, man. He lost his job. And in his first preseason game, he didn't really do himself any favors. Because this was his first pass of the day in his first preseason game after it was announced that Kyler Murray would be the starter over him. This was though, folks. That was his first throw of the day. JJ McCarthy. Is this why you lost the quarterback battle to Kyler Murray? Is this why Kyler Murray, Kevin O'Connell, told him to come to Minnesota? Because you do this every day. Every day? Man. Well, Kevin, we know why you told Kyler Murray to come. But what do you got to say about that first throw from J.J. McCarthy that we just saw? First throw of the preseason for J.J. McCarthy. Did it show why he's the backup quarterback and why you chose Kyler Murray? I'm asking for a friend.
You know, there's a couple little things here and there. You know, his first play of the day was not a quarterback sweep. We did want to hand that ball off to the jet sweep runner, and luckily we were able to come back, get Dylan a couple, and find a way to get some positive yards with how much they were trying to, infiltrate the interior of our O-line. So, but yeah, we were trying to get that ball out on the edge there. And when JJ had the ball, my life was flashing before my eyes on his first snap of the day.
Oh, okay. So that wasn't the first snap of the day, chat. I'm sorry. This is the first snap of the day that he's actually talking about. Running back went the wrong way. And that happened. All right, so that was the first snap of the day that he was talking about. The other pass was just, another one of J.J. McCarthy's passes. Right? This is the whole play. All right, from start to finish. So that way you can see it. Let's see it. Running back went the wrong way. He was supposed to hand it off. He didn't. And he almost got his butt mollywopped. JJ, you got to know the playbook, my guy. You're the quarterback. That can't happen. When you bring him in motion, you got to snap it sooner. Oh. I know that's not a design run or play. And, hey, that running back, boy, why you just whiff like that? Oh, my goodness. You just want your quarterback to get hit. But anyway, JJ, how do you feel? How do you feel about not starting? Jesus Christ, folks. My bad, chat. Ain't no way. I don't know why a few of my audio clips today have done the same thing. Give me 2 seconds, chat. We're going to hear from JJ. All right, we're going to hear from him. Because, JJ, how do you really feel about what's going on and not starting?
With all the quarterback changes that have already happened, that you've thought about a trade or thought about the possibility of if you wanted to be traded?
I think I made it very clear I wanted to be here before I got here. And I love this organization. I love the coaching staff. I absolutely love these players to death. This is where I want to be. I feel like I can thrive in this system. And, it's just, everything played out exactly how I wanted it. I wouldn't want anything else to change.
With all the,
So you're a man not starting J.J. McCarthy. You don't want to be traded either. Okay. Well, chat, Carson Wentz is their third string as of right now. J.J. McCarthy was placed as their second string. But with J.J. McCarthy having a few snafus like he did in this first preseason game, having a couple missed throws, J.J. McCarthy, you ain't looked that good, my guy, in that first preseason game. I'm not going to lie to you. All right? But that's okay. But is there a possibility that they could trade you? Is it a real possibility? I believe that just because they drafted you in the first round, I believe that it's possible that they still can get rid of you a little bit. I believe it's possible that they might get rid of you. I believe it's possible that at the end of the day, hey, you might be gone before the preseason over with. Because Carson Wentz, my friends. Yeah, I'm talking about Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz, chat. Hey, that boy's like that. All right? He's been in the league. He's seen defenses. He's seen a lot. If we look at the stats, JJ, I know you only had a drive or two, but 4 for 7, 34 yards. That's not a lot, my guy. Not a lot at all. Not a lot at all. But I'm curious. Could you really, in fact, be traded? Could Carson Wentz potentially be the backup? I'm just asking for a friend. Because with Kyler Murray being a guy, not going to lie to you, JJ, You might be getting up out of there here soon. I don't want to say it. I didn't want to be the bearer of bad news. But if we being honest, JJ is not looking pretty. It's not looking pretty. Oh, hold on, chat. My bad. Come on, Unc. Talk to us.
You probably feel pretty good just for the Giants. Y'all,
I need him healthy.
you didn't get healthy.
I need him healthy.
Hold on.
Me personally, Carter, because you want Ocho roster. Oh, I ain't finna hold you. It's gonna be hard for JJ McCarthy to stay on this roster.
Talk to him, Unc.
I think there's a greater chance. I think there's a greater chance they try and trade him. Me personally, Carter, because you want Ocho. The number one thing I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, I believe Kyler Murray is their starting quarterback. They want to go with Kyler Murray.
Yes.
If my starter goes down, who do I believe give me the best chance to keep this thing afloat until Kyler gets back? You believe it's JJ McCarthy or you believe it's Carson Wentz?
Probably Carson Wentz, but I don't see them moving. I don't see them moving on from someone that was picked so high.
They said
only 2 years ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, please. Boy, they moved on from Sam Darnold. Boy, they moved on from
Zach Wilson.
Zach, your guy, Zach Wilson.
Yeah. But year 3, I just don't see it because
I can see it.
Like I can see it. Yeah, it's year 3. But your first year, you was injured the whole season. Had ACL, ain't played. The second year, we gave you the whole season, gave you the runway. You was in. And when you was in there, you looked horrible. This is your 3rd season. In your 3rd season, we recruited another player. We recruited another player in Kyler Murray to come take your job. Because if it was really you, why are we having a Kyler Murray who's young, in his prime still, or definitely, or in the back half of his prime? Still in his prime. Why would we tell him to come over here if we would believe in you and we drafted you number 10? Continue though,
Kyler Murray came in on what, Kyler Murray signed
on a 1-year deal?
Yeah, he's on a 1-year deal. So I don't think we move on from him that fast, even though he doesn't look good yet. He hadn't looked good in the past either, but absolutely not that soon.
I don't know, Ocho.
But guess what? If Kyler Murray doesn't look good, they're not gonna win. If Kyler Murray don't get it done, the backup's probably likelihood. So guess what? They're gonna be in the market for anyway.
Quarterback,
QB.
Ta-da!
You know what's funny? That team is too good. They're not going to be able to get anybody of an extreme value at the quarterback position because they're still going to do well with that supporting cast they have.
I absolutely agree with Ocho on this one because I don't think Kyler Murray's job is going to be hard considering the fact that when you got guys like Aaron Jones back there, bro, I mean, they run game cutting up.
They got Aaron Jones. You got also Justin Jefferson to throw to. You got, they got a squad over there. And that defense ain't nothing to play with. The NFL definitely stands for not for long. That's what the Rob in the chat. They said JJ for Shedeur. Oh, cut it out. Cut it out. JJ finna find his way up out the league. I'm not gonna lie to you, cuz. I ain't gonna lie to you, chat. JJ McCarthy is gonna find his way up out the league. All right. As so to JJ McCarthy. All right. But it might be all she wrote. I'm going to let him finish, though.
I mean, hell, they cut up the day to where Kyler Murray barely had to do anything. So, you know what I mean? Think about that. So, I think with all the weapons that they have and their run game that they have, Ocho, I think his job going to be smooth selling.
Hey, it's so funny, too, Joe. I'm glad you just said that. I don't think people understand how it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but how easy the quarterback position is for players that are elite or in the conversation of being top 10 in quarterbacks when you have a certain supporting cast.
Yeah.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow.
You make a good point, Ocho, but we don't want to hear all that. All right. Moving on, though. Moving on. JJ. This might be all she wrote, my guy. Might have to say goodbye to you. JJ. Ooh, that looked like that hurt, though. JJ. Yeah. Might be all she wrote, big dog. Not gonna lie to you. Might be over with. And Unc and Ocho ain't the only ones who think so. All right. So JJ, maybe better luck next year.
The tag inserted in his contract that said he could not be tagged. There was a clause there put in there. So if he has a great year and wants to test free agency, then he would be allowed to leave. But of course, if he has a great year, you would think he'd want to stay because the Vikings right now have been playing catch up after losing both Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, who they had in Minnesota. Both.
They lost Daniel Jones to the Colts, and he been looking nice. They lost Sam Darnold to the Seattle Seahawks, and that boy went on to win the championship. So if Kyler Murray is anything solid, they're going to probably extend that boy and give him a nice little contract. Just saying.
Quarterbacks went out to shine elsewhere, and the Vikings now are trying to come up with another veteran plug-and-play option. As for J.J. McCarthy, he's played 10 games in his career, essentially, in the NFL. He's 23 years old, and you have to wonder if he's going to be the next quarterback a la Baker Mayfield, a la Sam Darnold, a la Daniel Jones, that needs a change of scenery before he is allowed to thrive in the NFL level. He's so young and still has so much NFL future. And obviously, when the Vikings are going to Kyler Murray this early, it seems like it was almost predetermined, predestined to go that way because they're betting on Kyler Murray's upside. But J.J. McCarthy also has upside. He's just not going to get the chance to show it early on here in Minnesota, and that will lead to questions about his future in Minnesota and how much longer he will be there.
Exactly. So the future for him in Minnesota is bleak. So that's why I said, chat, in the title, that's why I said, hey, for him, J.J. McCarthy, you might be on the trading block, my guy. You might have to pack your bags and get up out of Minnesota. You understand me? Ain't nothing personal, okay? There's nothing personal about it, all right? Not like they wanted to. Not like they wanted to do it. But my guy, they might have to. They might have to get rid of you. They brought Kyle over there for a reason. And Kyle looked decent. He looked just a little smidget or something good. Dog. Yeah, you're getting the boot. Yeah, you're getting up out of there, my guy. All right? You're getting up out of there. But, hey, like they said, Baker Mayfield, right? He went on, had other chances. You can potentially be like him. Sam Darnold, he went on, got other chances. You can potentially be like him. There's examples of it in the league. You're only 23, very young still. But as far as Minnesota, might be up out of there, my guy. Just saying. That's to JJ McCarthy, though. That's to the Minnesota Vikings. All right. Yeah, I think no, that's just how it is. That is just how it is. That is just how it is. Kyler Murray, you have a good season this year, you're gonna get a nice little bag. And Minnesota gonna probably keep you around for years to come. Potentially. But anyway, chat. All right, we got to move on. Can we move on? Is that allowed? Is that okay, chat? Can we move on? There's some other things that we got to talk about. My bad. There's some other things that we got to talk about, chat. All right? I told you. We already talked about Shedeur Sanders. We talked about Jayden Daniels. We talked about J.J. McCarthy. We talk about the horrible Atlanta Falcons. But it's still a few things that I got to get off my chest. Still a few things that I really want to talk about. Because as you know, the NFL has multiple divisions. As you know, the National Football League, at the end of the day, hey, we here. We here. We live. We ain't going nowhere. You understand me? The National Football League, the kickoff is 4 weeks away. The NFL season is right around the corner. The Super Bowl next year? Chat, the Super Bowl next year is going to be played on Valentine's Day, chat. So, chat, I would be remiss. I would be remiss if I didn't give you my Super Bowl contenders from each division. So, chat, I appreciate you being patient. I appreciate you sitting back, relaxing. I appreciate you grabbing some popcorn, grabbing a little snack or something, and being here to listen. If you haven't heard, the Dallas Cowboys, them boys, they making some moves, man. The Dallas Cowboys out there in the NFC East. Hey. Is that my pick? Am I picking the Dallas Cowboys to be one of the Super Bowl contenders? To be one of the teams to compete for a Super Bowl this year? To be one of the teams to really do damage this year? And make the playoffs? And have a chance at that Lombardi trophy? But yes, if you didn't know, this is the first year that the Super Bowl is going to be played on goddamn Valentine's Day, man. It's an amazing thing. It is an amazing thing, baby. All right? Because this year, hey, Valentine's Day. Hey, you know what it's for? Valentine's Day for the boys. Hey, it's for the boys. Valentine's Day this year. Hey, it is for the boys. Come on now. Valentine's Day is only 6 months away from today. That's not today. It was 6 months away from 2 days ago. All right. But for the first time in NFL history, the championship game will be played on Valentine's Day. Takes place 6 months from today, from 2 days ago. But y'all, hey, come Valentine's Day, you got to tell your woman, hey, baby. Hey, my love. I know you wanted some chocolate. I know you wanted some sweets. I know you wanted something nice. But baby, I got to watch the game. But baby, hey, can I at least get some hot wings and pizza today? Because chat, hey, the Super Bowl right around the corner. 6 months. Less than 6 months now. It's right around the corner. And with that being said, chat, my Super Bowl contenders from each division, let's talk about it. So coming in the NFC East. All right, first we're talking about the NFC teams, then we're going to hit on the AFC teams. All right, but from the NFC East, out of these 4 teams, from the Giants to the Commanders to the Eagles to the Cowboys, even with the Cowboys, chat, the Cowboys did something today, chat. The Cowboys did something today, chat. Hey, hold on. You see who it is. My bad, chat.
Not in the NFC. Went to DeSoto High School, matriculated next season. He's on the Dallas Cowboys. Vaughn posted a photo of himself. Dallas, let's make this one special. In the 40 jersey with the captaincy on. We'll see if he's the captain, but hey, something very special is trying to get brewing in Dallas. Joe, you like this move?
Hold on. Thank you, Unc, for asking me if I like this move. Because, chat, does this make them Super Bowl contenders? Are they my team that's going to come out the East? No. I got my money on Philadelphia. If it's anybody in the division that's going to compete for a championship, that's going to compete for a Super Bowl, it will not be the Dallas Cowboys, folks. It will be the Philadelphia Eagles. It will be Jalen Hurts and them boys. But Dallas, hey, I'm not going to sleep on y'all this year. But every year, my Dallas Cowboy fans, you think it might just be your year. And I'm here to tell you that this year, it's a little bit potential. Von Miller, y'all getting Von Miller? Dallas, that's a different kind of move, man. Jerry, hey, would you making this move, Jerry? Hey, I'm here. I'm here for it. The NFL bogus for doing Von like this. I know they had a better picture of my guy. Hey, but with that being said, chat, Von going to the Cowboys. That doesn't make them my Super Bowl favorites in the East. In the NFC East, to be specific. I think that's a good move because we know what that Dallas Cowboy offense going to do with Dak Prescott, George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, nice little running back. Yeah, we know what that offense going to do. The defense, picking up Caleb Downs from Ohio State. Adding Von Miller now. Shoring up that defensive line. Hey, I'm here for it. But Philly, with Jalen Hurts, Mekhi Lemon, if he can stay healthy, the rookie, Devontae Smith, that defense, Saquon Barkley, and that offense, yeah, I still got my money on the Eagles. Until further notice. They didn't want him at Chip. They're proven. So, yes, I still in the NFC East. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. The Giants, I'm not a believer. I don't think they're going to be that good this year. I don't believe in Jackson Dart, so no, I'm not going to the Giants. The Commanders, I believe that they're going to compete in this division. I believe Jayden Daniels will have a bounce-back season. He will look presentable, but I'm not a big Jayden Daniels believer. I think that rookie year was a fluke, and you're going to have to show me until further notice. But the top two teams in this division will be either the Eagles or the Cowboys, and the team that I'm picking to compete for the Super Bowl that's going to be played on Valentine's Day, I'm going with the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, moving on to the NFC North. The NFC North. With this one, Chad, I'm a little biased. With this one, I'm just going to come out flat out and say it. Just going to come flat out and say it. I have my money on the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears, I will believe until further notice. Until somebody else shows me, I believe the Chicago Bears, they will compete for a Super Bowl this year. They will compete for a championship. I believe the Chicago Bears, they will get into their bags and their duffies this season. I got my faith in the Chicago Bears. I believe that if they can prove to have another good season and Caleb Williams' third season, Ben Johnson's second season with the Chicago Bears, I believe that they will be the league contenders. They were the ones who they surprised the division last year with being so good in Ben Johnson's first year. The Minnesota Vikings and Kyler Murray, I'm not a believer. I am not a believer. I don't believe Kyler Murray would be that good. To be quite honest with you, I'm not a believer. They still have a lot of talent on that team. So they have the potential to still be good in this division. This is probably one of the hardest and toughest divisions in the NFC, period. The NFC North is stacked. From the Vikings to the Packers with Jordan Love, and they still got some comparable weapons, but I believe the Packers take a step back this year because I also do not believe in Jordan Love. Not a believer in him. I believe they will take a step back this year. I believe this is their first season where they will be at the bottom of the pack in this division. And they will have to do some things and make some major changes this offseason. I do not believe in Michael Parsons that much. I don't think he's going to make that big of a difference on that defense with him even being healthy for the entire year. All right. But with the Detroit Lions, they're going to be consistent. They're going to be in a running. They're going to be like that. With Dan Campbell as your head coach, that boy Jared Goff still balling. They still got some offensive weapons over there. That defense is still nice. I believe, the Detroit Lions, they're going to still be presentable. But I got my money on the Chicago Bears coming out of this division, winning the division, and competing for that Super Bowl taking place on Valentine's Day. You understand me? You mean the Indiana Bears? Oh, don't hurt my heart. Hey, you got to say that, my guy. You got to say that more. It's more like really the Hammond Bears. I do got to see it one more time with the Bears, though. I do got to see it one more time with the Bears. I agree with that. Guns N' Roses. Hey, I'm here. I agree with it. I agree with it, but I believe we will see it one more time with the Chicago Bears. But in this division, y'all, I'm going with the Chicago Bears. If I had to put a team in second, I believe my second team that's going to be scary is the Detroit Lions because they will always consistently be. They will always consistently be in the running. All right? But anyway, let's continue. Moving on to the next division, the NFC South. I'm going to keep this short, simple, and sweet. None of these teams will compete for a Super Bowl this year. None of these teams will be in a running to even sniff a Super Bowl this year. None of these teams, believe it or not, I believe in. I believe in none of them. The Saints with Tyler Shuck, I'm not a believer, but we will see. They got a decent little offense over there. The defense over there is coming along. They got a couple pieces. Not going to lie to you. They still got that boy Kamara. That offense is still dangerous. With Tyler Shuck coming in his second season, he got to make me a believer. Last year, he had a nice little rookie year. Nice little rookie season. Not terrible. I got to see more, though. Got to see more. The Buccaneers with Baker Mayfield, he's in a prove-it year. I believe Baker Mayfield, he has to ball out this year. So, yes, he will be motivated. He will be motivated to ball. He will be motivated to potentially go out here and do his thuggy, do his thing, get in his bag. I'm here for it. But believe it or not, nah. I don't think the Buccaneers going to do much. The Falcons, we already talked about them. We know how bad they're going to be this year. Sabotage Stefanski, that's what you get. The Panthers, they're my sleeper team. They're not going to compete for a Super Bowl, but they will be better than what they usually been. They will be a lot better than what they've been in the past. They will be a lot better than what people expect. So out of this division, none of them will compete for a Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie to you. But if I got to pick a team to make the playoffs and win a division, I'm going with the Carolina Panthers or the Buccaneers because I believe those two teams with Baker Mayfield having a contract prove it year, he will be on his best behavior and he will be trying to ball every single week instead of having the up and down weeks and the up and down seasons as he's had it in the past. In the Carolina Panthers, I believe they putting the pieces together and Carolina going to actually be halfway decent this year. Now, talking about my last team in the NFC West, all right, with the Seahawks, the 49ers, and the Rams, obviously this is also one of the most stacked divisions in the NFL. This is the most stacked divisions in the NFL. With the Rams specifically, I mean, how can they not be Super Bowl favorites with Matthew Stafford and them boys making it to the NFC Championship game last year, being one game away from winning the Super Bowl or competing in the Super Bowl, but also picking up Myles Garrett this offseason, having already that offense with Puka and them boys in that defense now with arguably one of the greatest defenders of all time in Myles Garrett. That was a major move. Will it prove to help them get over the hump? I am here for it. But, I don't know. Will the Seahawks be able to repeat? Will the Seahawks with JSN and Sam Darnold, Walker, they let him go, gave him up, said, hey, our running game going to be fine without you, my guy. Them, making it to a Super Bowl in their first year. Will the Rams and the Seahawks compete to win this division? Yes. They are my two favorites to win this division, either the Rams or the Seahawks. Because the Cardinals are the Cardinals. I showed you a whole blooper reel of just how their season has gone so far. And it's only the preseason. And they already got bloopers. So the Cardinals are irrelevant. But the 49ers, with that boy, Christian McCaffrey, Purdy, they just got that boy, Evans. Come on now. They ain't nobody to be slept on. But I don't see them being Super Bowl contenders. Brock Purdy, you got to make me a believer. You got to make me a believer. The 49ers, can you stay healthy? Because that defense for the last couple of years ain't been healthy and they getting older. That offense, Brock Purdy, can you stay healthy? Can Christian McCaffrey still get it done at a high level? A lot of questions to be asked on that 49ers roster, on that 49ers team. But if we're talking about it, with the Seahawks being champions last year, doing their thing last year, I believe they're going to be all right. I believe they're going to be all right. I believe potentially in the future, we will have to just sit back, relax, and see what they can do this upcoming season without that running back. Because he won MVP of the Super Bowl, and they decided to give him up. And I believe that was one of the major reasons why they were even there, was because of him in that running game. But they say they don't need him. So I see the Rams and the Seahawks competing to win this division, competing to both be potentially Super Bowl contenders to play on that Valentine's Day. So there you have it, folks. That is the NFC. All right. Those are some of my picks for the NFC. All right. Going by each division. Now, moving on to the AFC, folks. Talking about the AFC. Talking about some teams in the AFC. We must talk about the Dolphins in the AFC East. They will be bottom feeders. Malik Willis, in your first year, completely starting, getting a full runway, you got to make me a believer, big dog. You only played 2-3 games with the Packers, and everybody was saying, oh, you better than Shadeur, you better than this person, you better than that person. Malik Willis, you're going to have to make me a believer, my guy, because I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it, man. But we shall see. We shall see. The Dolphins, the Jets, the Bills, the Patriots, the Jets, bottom feeders. Irrelevant. Won't even sniff the goddamn playoffs and won't even sniff dang near being over 500 if we're being honest. The Dolphins, with Malik Willis in his first year, they got weapons on offense with that boy Waddle. Hey. They got some weapons over there in Miami now. But that defense looks horrible. But that offense, Malik Willis, can you do something with Waddle? Can you do? It's another play on that team. Jesus Christ, I can't even think of it. Who am I thinking of? Who am I thinking of, chat? If we're thinking about the Miami Dolphins, their roster, if we're thinking about some of the wide receivers, oh, yeah, that boy Tolbert, right? That boy Washington, that Waddle, right? They got some pieces out there in Miami, man. They got some pieces out there in Miami. Not going to lie to you. But we shall see. We shall see. But I'm not a believer. Not going to lie to you. Not going to lie to you. They won't even sniff the playoffs. Got my money on either the Bills or the Patriots coming out of this division to compete for a Super Bowl. The Bills with Josh Allen, they new assigned weapon in DJ Moore. I believe they will do a lot of damage to a lot of teams this year because I'm still upset the Bears got rid of DJ Moore. The Bears. Y'all did a lot this offseason. Gave up a lot of weapons on defense, a lot of defenders who helped us be good last year. And you gave up a lot of people who helped the defense, with all them turnovers we had last year too. And then you give up DJ Moore. Josh Allen and DJ Moore, they're going to do a lot of damage this year, folks. I believe they will. I believe the Bills and Patriots will compete to win this division, and I will give the division probably to the Bills. The Patriots, you got to make me believe you got to do it for another season. Last year in your first season with Mike Vrabel, you did good. You did well. But it's been a lot of noise. Mike Vrabel out here doing his, doing a nasty, getting caught with that girl, Diana Rossi. Hey, I don't got nothing against you, Mike. I don't got nothing against it, but that was a little off-season noise. A lot of people going to have a spotlight on y'all this year. What you going to do with it? Last year, you shocked a lot of people how good y'all were. Let's see if you can do it again. I'm picking the Bills to win this division. I'm picking both the Bills and the Patriots to compete potentially in the playoffs. And I'm also picking both of these teams to potentially compete for a Super Bowl. The Patriots, at the end of the day, they were in the Super Bowl last year. The Bills, at the end of the day, they were dang near a game or two away from contending to be in the Super Bowl. And a lot of people, everybody and their mama, they believe Josh Allen is the best thing since sliced bread. He's the best thing since goddamn Jesus turned water into wine that day. He's the best thing since that day. Or that was a horrible analogy. My bad. But anyway, you get the point. But the Bills and the Patriots, I'm going with the Patriots to potentially contend for a Super Bowl, and also the Bills. We'll see who plays on Valentine's Day between them. Next team, moving on, AFC North. If we're talking about the AFC North, hey, this is my squad. This is my squad over here, man. Should I make a bold prediction? Is that okay? Is that okay? Can we talk about it? Because I'm not going to lie to you. Hey, I believe the bottom feeders of the division this year in the AFC North will be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe J.J. McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, them boys just go right off into the sunset together. Aaron Rodgers going to retire at the end of the year. They going to look at McCarthy like, McCarthy, what you doing over there? Do we have to fire you in your first year? Do we? But at the end of the day, the AFC North, man. In the AFC North, if we really talking about, if we really being honest, chat, in the AFC North, man, it's kind of crazy. It is crazy. It is crazy to think that the Pittsburgh Steelers will not be the Pittsburgh Steelers of old. And they won't be. I'm not going to lie to you. I got my money on the Browns competing with the Baltimore Ravens to win this division. I got my money on the Browns competing with the Baltimore Ravens to win this division. Yeah, I said it. Find me, sue me. But yeah, I said it. The Browns will compete to make the playoffs this year. I believe if Shedeur Sanders starts the season, the Browns will shock a lot of people. They will be better than advertised, and they will compete to make the playoffs this year. Now, will they compete for a Super Bowl? I don't know. But to be quite honest with you, I'm lying, chat. If it's going to be any team to compete to win this division, it's going to definitely be the Baltimore Ravens, and it's going to definitely be the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm hyping up the Browns because I really like the Browns, and I really do hope they at least compete to make the playoffs this year. I do. But if we're being realistic, all right, if I'm going to put my bias aside for 2 seconds, it's going to really be between the Baltimore Ravens and the Bengals. But I believe, don't sleep on the Browns. I believe 3 teams potentially can make it to the playoffs out of this division. Because I believe the Browns will shock some people. They will win some of these divisional games, and they will win some games unexpectedly in the league. If Shedeur Sanders starts, you got to understand this team is young. This team don't know that they're supposed to be bad. New Cleveland movement, they don't know that they're supposed to be horrible. These young players who, yes, they're going to make mistakes. Yes, they're going to fall short in some games, but they're also going to surprise a lot of people, and they're going to also win some games. Because they don't know they're supposed to be bad. From Carson Schwarzenegger to Mason Graham to Harold Fannin to Casey Concepcion to Denzel Boston to Shedeur Sanders. hey, this team can potentially do some damage, the Cleveland Browns. Yes, they don't got too much depth. Yes, they are top heavy. Yes, we need everybody to stay healthy for 17 weeks. But I believe they at least going to compete. I believe they're going to at least be presentable, and I believe they at least going to be better than the Steelers for sure, for sure. And the reason why I'm kind of down the Bengals, and the reason why I even threw the Browns competing with the Baltimore Ravens in the division, because I don't believe Joe Burrow can stay healthy. I believe Joe Burrow will be injury prone his whole career. And I believe that is one reason one thing that will hinder the Bengals. I want Joe Burrow to be healthy. I want him to compete, because when he's competing, when he's healthy, that's a hell of a team. But just to remind you, the Bengals defense is horrible. The Bengals defense, they have been historically bad, horribly bad. And they only made one move, and that was to get a defensive lineman this year. Who was that? Hickens? They got some defensive lineman. I could not think of his name right now. They got Hickens. I'm pretty sure that's his name, though. I'm pretty sure that's his name. So the Bengals, with them, I believe they're going to be all right. I believe with them getting Dexter Lawrence, that's who they got. All right? They got Dexter Lawrence. All right? And this team, I don't know, man. Is going to deal with that offense and Joe Burrow staying healthy. But they're going to still be able to compete. The Baltimore Ravens, talking about them, Lamar Jackson, he has a lot to prove this year. They got a first-year head coach since Harbaugh is no longer there. He's with, the New York Giants now. They got a lot to prove, man. They got a lot to prove. And at the end of the day, I want to see it. I want to see it. Lamar, what you going to do? You got a lot to prove. You got a lot of people who plan on your downfall. You got a lot of people who don't want you to succeed. Lamar Jackson, it's a lot of people who don't want to see you win out here. You got to come out and ball this year. With Hollywood, with King Henry in the backfield. Y'all getting older. That defense is getting older. But it's not never for Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. So I believe, yes, they will compete in this division. They will compete to potentially win the Super Bowl on that Valentine's Day. But with the first-year head coach, whole new offense, whole new defense kind of really. Got to make me a believer. Got to make me a believer, Lamar. Moving on, though. All right, my bad. I spent a lot of time on the AFC North, but I'm a little biased. We talk about the Browns, so you know how that go. AFC South. I'm going to keep this one short, sweet, and simple. I got my money on the Texans or the goddamn Jacksonville Jaguars. Roar. Let me stop. But I believe the Colts will actually be good, too. If we're talking about the Colts, they have a solid defense. Daniel Jones and them boys do got weapons on offense. Daniel Jones, though, I'm not a big believer. You got to do it again, Daniel. You did it for a little bit last year to start the season. You got off to a hot start. Daniel looked like one of the best teams in the NFL. But once you got hurt, it was silence. The rest of the team was crap. The rest of the team, they didn't look good at all. The Indianapolis Colts, they got weapons. At the end of the day, they got a few players. With that boy Jonathan Taylor, that boy Pierce, Josh Downs. Hey, they got some players out there. But they ain't going to compete for nothing. Daniel Jones, you got to do it again. You got to make me a believer. You resurrected your career. All right? But you got to do it again. And you got to stay healthy the whole season for me to really think you're a believer in the contender. The Houston Texans. What don't they got? The Houston Texans will compete for a Super Bowl. They will compete to win, of course, this division. With the Houston Texans, it all comes down to quarterback play. With you throwing 4 interceptions last year during the playoffs, CJ Stroud, not going to lie to you. I almost was on a bandwagon telling them to get rid of you. You got Nico Collins. You got Jayden Higgins. You got that boy Hutchinson. You got some weapons out there. That boy David Montgomery, who I wanted him to stay in Chicago, we sent them to you. You got a hell of a nice little offense over there. And that defense with Will Anderson. With Will Anderson, that boy Hunter. with Derek Stingler Jr., with Reed. Oh, my goodness. That defense is something else. So, Houston, I'm expecting a lot from you. Houston, we ain't playing no games with you this year. Houston, you got to really get out here and ball and really put your best foot forward. Not going to lie to you. I'm expecting a lot from Houston. CJ Stroud, if you can't get it done this year, you can get up out of there. Talking about the Tennessee Titans now, irrelevant. Irrelevant. The Tennessee Titans, you made the wrong decision all the way back when you should have drafted Shedeur Sanders, but instead you picked the second best quarterback in the draft in Cam Ward. The Tennessee Titans will be bottom feeders in this division. I don't even see them winning over 500 games. I said winning over 500, being over 500. The Tennessee Titans, I see them being bad. I see them being bad, man. I see them really being bad. But once again, my teams, one was Houston, another was the Jaguars. The Jaguars, the Jacksonville Jaguars, I want y'all to stay woke. I don't want you to sleep. The Jacksonville Jaguars with that boy, Trevor Lawrence, is making a break it time now for you, baby. Will you lead them to the playoffs? Will you lead them to a successful season this year? Can you stay healthy? Again, will you stay healthy? Can Travis Hunter prove to be an asset? Prove to be worth that second round pick? I mean, that second round pick, that second overall pick. Can he prove to be the one that will change faith or change face in Jacksonville? Prove to be the key that was missing from last year when y'all made a nice little run towards the end of the season. Y'all got Brian Thomas Jr., you got Parker Washington, you got Travis Hunter, right? The defense is solid. You got a couple players in that boy Walker, that boy Armstead, that boy Hamilton. Travis Hunter starting that corner and also being involved on offense, being the Swiss Army knife that he is. We will see what y'all do, Jacksonville. I'm watching. You are another one of my contenders to be in the Super Bowl and contend. So I got my money once again on the Texans in this division and the Jaguars. Moving on now. Last but not least, the last division. Well, you know we got to talk about it. Chat, you know we got to have a conversation, man. We got to have a conversation. Will that boy Patrick Mahomes? Will that boy Patrick Mahomes? Will he be able to bounce back? Will he be able to do it? Do he got it in his bag? I'm not. Hey. Who knows? Who knows? Tyrann Mathieu. What you got to say about your guy bouncing back from that ACL so quickly? Talk to us.
Patrick Mahomes up close and personal for the first time after that crazy injury.
Yeah, in a while, man. I wasn't expecting him to be like training camp ready.
Right.
You know, I definitely wasn't expecting him to be ready week one.
Mm-hmm.
Even going up there this past week and hanging out with the coaches and trainers and stuff, he has no injury tag. And he's bouncing around, he's hopping around, talking trash like he's the same. He's the same old Patrick. And
So you think week one
he's out there?
He's out there.
Yeah, 100%. Even with Coach Reed is calling like option plays and speed options. Like, so like he's calling those plays so he can get him ready.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So and then too, like they missed the playoffs last year.
Ooh, he said it. They missed the playoffs last
Right,
year.
and they lost the Super Bowl right before that, and it's like
they missed the playoffs last year and lost the Super Bowl the year before. With Patrick Mahomes having that ACL and coming off that ACL injury, well, guess what, Patrick? Am I putting y'all as one of my contenders? Hell yeah, you know I am. But in your Super Bowl run, and even last year, y'all, in that Super Bowl run, if we bring it up, y'all was winning a lot of games. Y'all was winning a ton of games in the last few minutes, in the fourth quarter of games, and by coming back on teams. by being the comeback kings at that point in time. You can't ever count Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs out with Andy Reid and them boys. You can't count them out, chat. And we're not going to count them out. So, yes, the Kansas City Chiefs, they are one of my teams that compete for Super Bowl on Valentine's Day this year. I'm going with the Chiefs, but I'm also going with the Denver Broncos. Yeah, I said it. I'm going with Denver, too. The Chargers, I got hope. I don't got that much hope. The Chargers. All right. If we're looking at the Chargers, all right, if we're being honest about the Chargers, I mean, they got people. All right, they got Justin Herbert. That boy Hampton, playing running back. They got Johnson. They got Harris at wide receiver. You feel me? They got that boy, Derwin James on defense. They got Khalil Mack over there. They got Henley, right? They got Caldwell over there on that defense. They got players. But Justin Herbert over there in love, chat. Hey, that boy Justin Herbert, man, I'm not going to lie to you, chat. Hey, that boy Justin Herbert, I think he's more focused on love, chat. Did y'all see Justin Herbert, man? Did y'all see Justin? I mean, I'm just saying. Chat. Justin Herbert, hey, if we talking about it, if we being honest, I'm expecting a lot from him. But, chat, if we going to have this conversation, we got to really be honest. The Chargers, they ain't never really done nothing. And now you mean to tell me they starting quarterback out there just having picnics with his girl after practices? Ain't nothing wrong with it. Chad, ain't nothing wrong with this. Oh my goodness, you're so wonderful. You're so pretty. You're so amazing. Ain't nothing wrong with it, but Justin Herbert, I'm not going to lie to you, big dog. I'm not going to lie to you. It look like you in love, big dog. And you should be focused more on, on getting married, having kids. This ain't no quarterback that I see that look like he locked in and ready to win the Super Bowl. Not going to lie to you, chat. Herbert had like one good yes. Somebody said it. Who said that in the chat? Hold on. Let me go ahead and show you some love. Who said that? Who just said that in the chat? Who said it? He said sexual. Oh my goodness. But yeah, Justin Herbert. Yes, he's only had 1 year, chat. He's only had one good year. Guns N' Roses, you said it. Justin Herbert has only had 1 good year. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Justin Herbert, I'm sorry, my guy. I'm sorry. When I saw that, not going to lie to you. I knew y'all wasn't going to be my pick to be Super Bowl contenders. When I saw that, I was like, hey, ain't too much I can do for him. Chad, I said it. I ain't too much I can do for him, man. I'm sorry. But I got my money on the Chiefs. The Raiders will be bottom feeders because even the Raiders, they're not even bold enough to start their rookie quarterback. You draft a guy first round, first overall, and you don't throw him out there? Is Mendoza really that guy? Is Mendoza really like that? I don't know, chat. I don't know. But we're going to figure it out. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. But they will be bottom feeders. The Raiders will be. Sorry, chat. Took me a while to get it out, but they ain't going to be good. Y'all know that. But anyway, now last team, why I picked the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix. Honestly, I'm not a big Bo Nix fan, y'all. Like, to be quite honest with you, like, I wouldn't even have picked. Like, to be quite honest with you, I kind of want to pick the Chargers. But me seeing this from Justin Herbert, dog, I know his head, bro. Hey, I'm not saying you can't be in love and win a championship. I'm not saying you can't, be in love with your wife, your girlfriend, and really come out here and still ball out. But chat, when I saw this, man, I'm just saying, man, hey, Justin Herbert, man, you see what he worried about, man. I'm just saying. That boy got butterflies, man. That boy has only, somebody said it, Guns N' Roses said it, he only had one good year. But if we talk about the Denver Broncos, man, they're going to be nice. I'm not a Bo Nix believer, but they got J.K. Dobbins, right? They got Waddle. I said Waddle was in Miami. That's on me. He's not in Miami no more. He's out there in goddamn Denver with Cortland Sutton, with Troy Franklin. Denver got a nice little squad. They made it to the AFC Championship game last year for a reason. Denver has a nice squad, chat. So that's why I'm putting Denver to be one of my Super Bowl contenders with the Kansas City Chiefs. To be quite honest with you, I'm picking, in my heart of hearts, I really want to pick the Chargers. But Justin, I'm sorry. What you want me to do, man? You too in love for me, man. You too in love. I quit, though. I quit. Nah, but I ain't gonna lie, Rob. That's a different question for another day. I would get into it, but I don't want to get into all that. But SO2, the Chiefs and the Broncos for being my Super Bowl contenders out of this division. I believe the Chiefs, if I'm being honest, I believe the Chiefs won't even be that good this year. I believe the Chiefs will actually take a step back. The Chiefs will actually take another step back from losing the Super Bowl the year before, not making it to the playoffs last year. This being Patrick Mahomes' first year dealing with coming off of an ACL injury. I don't believe Patrick Mahomes and them boys will be that good. I simply don't. I'm not a believer in the Chiefs that much, but I believe in them a little bit more than I believe in the goddamn Chargers. Once again, especially after seeing this. Especially after this. I'm sorry. Justin, I'm sorry. Can't do it. So there you have it, folks. Those are a few of my Super Bowl contenders. All right? Those are a few of my Super Bowl contenders. Now, I want to wrap this whole conversation up with Shedeur Sanders and how I felt about, how he played and what Todd Monken was saying about him earlier. And I'm going to let Unc and Ocho give their takes and their opinions on how they feel about this quarterback battle and how they feel about what Todd Monken said. And we're going to close out on that. But chat, there you have it. Those are my Super Bowl contenders from each division. All right. I was going to also show you highlights of how they've been doing in the preseason, but I will get more into the preseason and how games have been going and how teams have been doing this upcoming week. I will dive more into each team individually and how the preseason was going. But I just wanted to give y'all an overall update, and I just wanted to have this fun conversation with y'all, give you some of my predictions for some of these teams for this upcoming season. So hopefully you enjoyed it, that segment. We're going to talk about it more. But now let's get back to Shedeur Sanders and the Cleveland Browns before we get up out of here for the night. All right, chat, let's go ahead and get into it.
Split reps this week, given how the starting opportunity.
Guys, if you're still ballsy.
Oh, hold on. Guys, don't worry about nothing. Hold on. I can't believe they just gave us an ad like that. They gonna put it on the side of the screen like that. They just gonna throw it on us like that, chat. But anyway, we're gonna let Ocho finish. All right, we're gonna let Ocho finish. And then I'm gonna wrap this whole thing up in a bun. But I just wanted y'all to hear somebody else's opinion about Shedeur Sanders and about this quarterback situation that we have out in Cleveland. Ocho, I'm tired of this take, Ocho. Ocho, I'm tired of this take on the business side of things. Just because Deshaun Watson is making so much money, we just got to start Deshaun Watson. Ocho, it still wouldn't be the quarterback battle going into the second week of preseason games. And when you're 4 weeks away from the season, it wouldn't be a quarterback battle, in my opinion. They would have just did what Minnesota did and just named Deshaun Watson the quarterback. It was really that cut and dry, that simple. And they wanted to throw him out there because he was making more money. But I'm going to let you get your take off. All right, see, and this is what Unc and Ocho and them, and they just start ranting about their history and what they done been through and what they done seen and things of that nature. But y'all get the gist of what they were saying. But I'm going to let Unc say this one last point because he makes a good point. He makes a good point here shortly. All right. And then I'm going to hit on it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss it. And then, chat, I'm going to show you one last thing that I got from this Shedeur Sanders topic, and we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. My bad, chat. Give me 2 more seconds. Let's go ahead and get back to the regular scheduled programming. All right. Talk to me, Unc.
How this thing turns out. Ocho, you believe that because of Deshaun's money, that he's going to get an opportunity?
I'm just looking at the business side of things. I'm thinking like an owner.
Sure.
I'm thinking like the person who's writing the check. I'm thinking about.
But Ocho, I know you're thinking about the owner. I know you're thinking like an owner. I know you thinking like the person writing the checks. We get all that, Ocho. But Ocho, the conversation is already done. The checks have already been written. The $40 million that we owe Deshaun. What we already gave Deshaun Watson $200 million. What the hell is another $40 million? He's played 5 games in 19. He's played 19 games in 5 seasons. In the last 5 years, he's played 19 games. He's been injured for the last 2 years. We know what we have in him. I'm tired of seeing him. The fans, you think the fans going to stand for that? Dog, it's going to get scarce out here to throw Deshaun Watson out there. It's going to get scarce out there. So, hey, we shall see. I'm going to let y'all finish, though. I want to even throwing Deshaun Watson out there if you're going to be 0-4 and 0-5. If you're going to end up 0-4, 1-4, 0-5, why not just throw the Shedeur Sanders out there? And at the end of the day, if you end up being that bad, then you're going to use those first 2 picks on the draft pick anyway. You're going to use those first 2 picks on somebody else regardless. So what's the point of even seeing Deshaun Watson? What's the point of even starting off that bad? What's the point? Take it away, Unc. I agree with you, Joe. That's all we can ask for is an opportunity at the end of the day. Regardless, at the end of the day, chat, if Shedeur Sanders does end up coming out of this and he is chosen to be the starting quarterback, at the end of the day, all we ask for at the beginning, compared to Sabotage Stefanski from last year and this year, compared to the 2, at least we're getting a real opportunity this year. So, Shedeur, what you going to do with your opportunity? Get the whole week this week. Practicing with the ones. Starting on Saturday. It's up to you, my guy, to make everybody a believer. I believe. It's wrist up all day, every day, baby. But it's going to be up to you. It's going to come down to you. Ocho, you talking out of 2 sides of your mouth. Talking out of 2 sides of your mouth now, Ocho. Because, Ocho, you say you're thinking of it long term. You ain't thinking of it long term. But if you was thinking of it long term, then you will understand that Shedeur Sanders should get the full runway this season. So you can see what he has. So that way you can see what you're going to do with your first 2 round picks next year. You got 2 first-round picks next year. You need to see what you got in Shedeur Sanders before you do anything with those picks next year. To see if you building around a team, getting another wide receiver, getting another offensive lineman, or are you drafting the quarterback? The only way you can see that is by playing the guy, Shedeur Sanders.
You to take my native deodorant. So you
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Chat, right when we start to get to the bottom of it, chat. Because Ocho was about to say some wild stuff, so it's probably good that they cut him off. All right? But we're gonna let Ocho get his off. All right? I'm going to let him get his take off. We ain't going to just cut him like that, chat. All right? Let me bring him back up. Ocho, come back into the front of the congregation. Talk to my people before I go ahead and hit the rest and get us up out of here.
And this is power.
He can still. They just gave him an opportunity. That's what these preseason games are for, Joe. His opportunity is right now. What's going to change us seeing him in a preseason and us seeing him in actual game live action? They both the same thing. It's either you got it or you don't. It's either you look the part or you don't. It's either you're better than Shedeur Sanders or you ain't. That's simple. But continue. We're going to let you. It's already been.
Cardinals running back Jeremiah Love is dealing with a
19 games. 19 games in 5 years. That's what he done gave you. He done gave you 19 games in 5 years. What more do you need to see? What you want to see the return on that for? What you want to see the return on that for? Cut it out, man. Cut it out. We already know what we done saw. We know what it is. Cut it out. But Shedeur Sanders, it's your turn to take the test. Deshaun Watson, he took the test. Deshaun Watson, you had the first shot at taking the test. Deshaun Watson, you had the first shot at taking the test. You had the first shot at taking the test. Now, Shadeur, this week, on you. It's your turn to take the test. Todd Monken said he was going to let both quarterbacks take the test. Both quarterbacks will take the test. Right, Todd? Didn't you say that? Now, Todd, with both quarterbacks taking the test, I need you to tell me one last time, what do you want to see and what do you expect from our guy, Shedeur Sanders, as we take this test and as we get ready? Because, Shedeur, you need to make it undeniable this week that you should get the start. You need to make it undeniable this week that you're him. You need to make it so hard for them to put Deshaun Watson on the field because you just balled that much with the ones. You just look so much better than Deshaun. Shedeur, you have to ball and show up and show out this week. You get an opportunity after opportunity, chance after chance this week, with the ones tomorrow, with the ones on Wednesday, and then you come back and you're with the ones again on Thursday, and you start this Saturday. You get in the full runway, and we just need you to shut the goddamn door. You up the bat, and we need you to hit a goddamn home run. Period, point blank, Shedeur. But Todd, what do you want to see from our guy?
This seems like a pretty big week for him, obviously, with getting
And again,
need to show you this week.
let their talent shine.
And what does Shedeur need to show you this week?
What do
This
you gotta
seems
show
like
you,
a pretty
Todd?
big week for him, obviously, with getting the start and everything. What are some things that you would really like to see from him this week?
Well, he's improved so much. I mean, he really has in terms of climbing the pocket, working through his progressions. I think that's a big thing. Even on the one that he threw to 81 in the slot, like he drifted too deep. I mean, we caught him in the blitz, but they weren't even close. Created kind of his own pressure. There's some things he can, and then operation. It's still a part of it. Getting into the huddle, getting lined up, getting the call. So does Deshaun. They're both in the same manner, so we can stack plays together. We did a good job. Maybe the most positive thing we did yesterday was we overcame some penalties. For God's sakes, we overcame the 1st and 25. We overcame a couple other penalties, and we hit that big 3rd and 13. Shedeur did. So how can we play cleaner at all positions? And certainly with him, how can he play cleaner?
Next, we'll go to Jeff.
An update on the players who were injured yesterday.
All right, my bad, chat. I ain't trying to go to Jeff. But as we wrap this thing up, chat, as we look at everything in its totality, this week for Shedeur Sanders is a big week. Shedeur Sanders, you have the opportunity to shut the door on this goddamn quarterback competition. Shedeur Sanders, I believe that at the end of the day, this is your competition to lose. Shedeur Sanders, this is your competition to lose. You will either win it with your play this week, or you will lose it with your play this week. You're going to play regardless this year. But Shedeur, we need you to show up and show out every single day. Every single day. You can rest on Sunday. This is what I want to see. This is what I want to see come across my timeline in a couple weeks. Breaking news. This is what I want to see come across my timeline in a couple weeks. This right here. Breaking news. The Cleveland Browns are starting Shedeur Sanders. This is what I got to see on my timeline, Shedeur. This is what you got to earn. You got that opportunity this week. Shut the door. You up the bat. Your turn to take the test. Yeah, we might not get all the weapons that Deshaun had. Yeah, it might not look the same. But this week, the opportunity is there. The opportunity is there. So at the end of the day, Shedeur, ain't no need to play. Ain't no need to wait. Ain't no need to doubt. It's your turn. It is your turn. So what you gonna do with it? I know what I want to see. I know who I got my money on. I know who I'm expecting to win. It is up to you. Go out here and prove the doubters wrong. Go out here and prove the haters wrong. Go out here and prove the naysayers wrong. Come on, man. This time last year, Joe Flacco was QB1. Now this time this year, it can either be you or Deshaun Watson. Show up each and every day this week and ball out. After this week, there's no more debate. There's no more waiting. There's no more procrastinating. After this week, we should know definitively who the starter of the Cleveland Browns is and who is the future franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Shut the door this week. Shut the door this week. Y'all know who I got my money on. Y'all know what we doing. It's wrist up, baby. It's wrist up. So, hey, Shedeur. Shedeur. Hey. Let's get money. Let's get money. Period. All right. Now, chat, I was going to end on that note, but I got one more thing for you. Chat, I was going to end on that note. Chat. But, I mean, we already here. You here. I'm here. We already been, in this thing for a few hours. Is it okay if I bring up one more topic? Is it okay if we hit on this real quick before we get up out of here, chat? Sidebar. Side topic, sidebar, chat. Side topic, sidebar. Side topic, sidebar, chat. Let's talk about it.
A lot of women think that them making six figures dismisses so many other aspects of being a woman. And it doesn't.
Right.
Men who make a certain amount of money have access to certain women. And are you the woman that he normally has access to? And if you're not, he don't even see you coming.
Right.
I want a top earning figure man. I want a man that look like this and look like this. But is that man checking for you? And a lot of times they're not checking for you.
That's what I said. On night, Ocho and I, we had
And
a
they get so
conversation.
mad at me, Shannon. They gonna want to fight me.
They say, well, I want a man that makes six figure. There's only a certain amount of men that make six figure. But I also need him to be over 6 foot tall. And I also need him to be well educated. And I also want him to be able to travel. Now, let's just say there's 4 billion men in the world. Let's just say there are 3 billion of them that's of the dating age.
He put his card down. It's personal.
So there's 3 billion. Let's just say there's of 3 million people that are
We'll let
over
them get
6
the whole
foot tall,
takeoff, Chad.
that make six figures, that's well educated, that likes to travel.
Talk to him.
Okay, of those,
And you got to put it down in the bedroom. They want that too.
They want that. Now you said that's what you're looking for.
You got to be fit. They want you fit.
Fit, ab, woo.
They don't even be fit.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
They don't even be fit. But I need you to be fit.
Yeah. So now, all that.
She said it, not me, chat. They riding off the list of what women want and what women say they need this year. A man that makes six figures, a man that's 6 foot tall, a man that got education, a man that got this, a man that got woo. Well, miss, if I'm bringing all that to the table, what are you going to bring to the table? Just asking. But continue.
That you want, is he looking, does he want you?
And that's all I say to women, and they get mad at me.
If he's not, so what difference what you want if that's not what's looking for you?
Thank you. There's nothing wrong with an average man. There's nothing wrong with an average man who makes average money. Women, again, social media has created this unrealistic expectation of what lifestyles are supposed to be.
So, chat, do you agree with that take? Has social media lowered I won't even say lowered. Have they increased or heightened the dating atmosphere, the dating scene? Has social media done this? Have they given women this false prophecy of what a man is supposed to be and what a man isn't if he's not at that level? I wanted to have this conversation, Chad. I wanted to bring this to the forefront because it is very interesting to me. It is something that we must talk about. It's something that we have to discuss. All right, this is a sidebar conversation. So, chat, if you're here for more sports, I'm sorry, but the sports talk is out the window for the rest of the night. I wanted to bring another topic on because I wanted us to talk about it. I wanted us to have a conversation. Because a woman say we need this, we got to make six figures, we got to be over 6 foot, we got to do this, we got to do that. Come on now. Come on.
Yes.
I want my lifestyle to be like this, and I want to be able to travel at least every other month. I want to go on a trip. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. Not.
You got to find a man that want to go with you somewhere. First of all.
Thank you.
Second of all, there's not. I was telling.
And if he worked like that, car, he ain't got time.
There's nothing wrong with a man. Like there's a lifestyle that you can create together that is comfortable. But y'all want these unrealistic lifestyles because you are on social media following the guidelines of what you think things should be, and that's for them.
Yes.
You.
Them social media guidelines. That's not it. Them social media guidelines, man, got a lot of people confused. Got a lot of people thinking it should be this, it should look like this. Giving a lot of people false hope. Selling false narratives. And I'm just here to ask, and I'm just here to ask for a friend. Is this how all women think? Is this now the expectation? That if a man doesn't make six figures, if a man isn't over 6 feet tall, if a man don't do this, a man don't do that, a man don't have this, does that make him less of a man? Is this now what the dating pool is? This is what the dating pool look like these days, chat? Let's continue, though.
You have to be able to differentiate what Shannon Sharp's life looks like based on what he has and who he is.
Yes.
I can't say I'm supposed to have that life.
Right.
What? There are some really good men out there.
Yes.
Who get passed by because all the women are searching for the same man. We all trying to get the same 10% of men. And there are men out there who are good men, who are going to treat you good, who are going to be nice to you. And even in some cases, some women would rather the man who makes 6 figures and be, and we talk about the high earning 6 figures. Some women would rather be with that and be women number 5.
Man.
Than be with a man where they could be number 1. And you might not get a Chanel bag every 6 months.
But I ain't gonna be nobody gonna see me though.
First of all, is you worth looking at? I'm not trying to be mean. Don't edit that out either. I said what I said. Is you worth looking at? You want to be seen so bad. Like there's and it's sad because we don't realize this till we in our 40s and 50s as women.
True.
And by the time a woman stops chasing a man with 6 figures, stop chasing a man who's over 6 foot, stop chasing a man who checks all these 50 different boxes, she'll be 40 and 50 and elderly. And that biological clock has been ticking and has come and went. Because that's the thing that separates woman and man. If we're going to really be honest and have a real conversation about this, chat. A woman. Yes, a woman. She has a biological clock that keeps ticking. A man. Shoot, we can have kids until we about 50, 60, 70. As long as it work, hey, we can spit it, we can get them out. So for women, it's different. But for women these days, they want us to check all these boxes. And it's like, miss, what box are you checking? Are you in the same 6-figure tax bracket like myself? Can you cook? Can you clean? Can you do some of these things? Do you work out? Do you go to the gym? Are you educated? Do you have a career? What boxes are you checking off, or do you just look pretty? Do you just have nice eyes, nice hips, or nice buttocks, nice melons? What do you bring to the table besides your looks, miss? That's sometimes what we need to ask. She's raising a question, not me.
Damn, I could have had a different lifestyle.
Yes.
I sat here and chased men, got ran through by men, had different babies by men, and here I am, 45, looking for that average guy who's going to treat me like a queen. And he might not even want me now. He's not even checking for me now because he done went and found him.
He done went and found him a nice little honey who may be a little younger, maybe a little prettier, maybe look a little better. Yeah, he done went and found him something else. And your ship has came and went. The ship for you has sailed. So, chat, I just wanted to raise this question. I just wanted to have a discussion about it because it raises a good question. Are the expectations of social media, are the expectations of what women expect from men, are the expectations of what we see on the regular basis, are these expectations realistic? Are these expectations the way that things should be? Are women allowed to have all these expectations and want a man to check all these boxes, but they only checking a few boxes off for themselves? So it raises a question, chat. It raises a question. When is enough for a man to have, to be presentable? Is there something wrong with an average Joe, a man who maybe works a 9 to 5, makes not 6 figures, but makes about maybe 80, 70, has a respectable job? Is that enough? Or do he need to buy you Birkins every week? Gucci bags, Louis bags? Is that all a man is good for? And if he ain't doing that, then I don't want him. Well, miss, is only probably 1 or 2%, or maybe 5 to 6%, 1 or 2, let's say that 1 or 2% to about maybe 5 or 6% of men who actually can buy you Birkin bags and Gucci bags and stuff like that. But really, if I'm being honest, it might just be 1% of men. But social media got the expectations being all the way up here when we got to bring them down a little bit, bring them back to earth. Because what happened to one of the man that just love you? Wanting the man to just appreciate you, wanting the man to just love on you, wanting the man to just value you and treat you like the beautiful queen that you are. What happened to that? What happened to that being the expectations of how you treat me? That's the expectation. You treat me well. You take care of me. You're around when I need you. I love your personality. I love the man that you are. I love your character, your morals, your values, that you stand for something. That's what I love about you. That's what I respect about you. What happened to that being enough? Who knows? Who knows? But the expectations are different. The expectation these days is not the same. Come on, man. Sometimes even an older woman, potentially, who is educated, an older woman who potentially does make 6 figures, an older woman who potentially do check off all the boxes. Guess what? Then she can have her pick of the litter. All right? Guns and Roses, we appreciate you. All right, have a good night. We appreciate you, my guy. Thanks for blowing up the chat. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. But, Chad, it comes down to the point. Comes back to us having a real conversation about, at the end of the day, man, what are the expectations now with dating these days? How come they become so unrealistic? How come just taking a woman on a nice date, buying her something that you can afford instead of buying something out of your tax bracket, taking her to a nice restaurant, taking her and giving her flowers, instead of always having to put material things first, always having to give her material things, having to go to 5-star restaurants, having to eat steak and lobster every single time you go out to dinner. It's different. It's different. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. Dating polls a little different, y'all. It's a little different these days. But I just wanted to bring the conversation up. And I just want her to repeat it one more time for the people in the back. For the people all the way in the back. For the people all the way in the back. Can you say this part one more time, miss?
There's so and it's sad because we don't realize this till we in our 40s and 50s as women.
True.
Damn, I could have had a different lifestyle.
Yes.
I sat here and chased men, got ran through by men, had different babies by men, and here I am, 45, looking for that average guy who's going to treat me like a queen. And he might not even want me now.
She said it. Not me. She said it, chat. Not me. Status is what they care about. What you can buy me is what they care about. But it used to be caring about the simple things. Just wanting to be loved on, loved properly, loved the right way, appreciated, valued. I'm a big believer that chivalry is still real. As a real man, you should open up doors. You should cater to your woman. You should treat her like a queen. You should do everything you can to make her feel happy, make her feel loved. But I'm also a true believer that you don't need always materialistic things to do that. These days, a woman is okay with being the 6th or 7th woman as long as they get a Birkin, as long as they get their bills paid. Hey, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. But eventually, it's going to come to a time where maybe you just want one man to love you consistently, wholeheartedly, and all the time. Maybe you just want one man who can be a father to your children, to your one kid, instead of many. Maybe one day, things will get back to normal. One day, chivalry and just the way you treat a woman, the way you open doors, the way you present yourself, the way you take care of a woman, not just financially, but emotionally, mentally, in all kinds of ways. Maybe that will potentially one day come back into the forefront. But until then, Chad, I don't know. But I just wanted to have this conversation with y'all. I just wanted to bring it up because dating in this world is different. It's different. I'm not married yet. I'm still a young man myself, still out here searching, no ring on the finger yet. But man, it's different. It's different these days. It's harder. The expectations are different. What women value are different. And hey, it gets interesting. It gets interesting. So we shall see. We shall see. Esther the Rob, Hey, you might get you never know if you might get married again. You never know, you might have another bite at the apple, but then again, you never know. But that's life, folks. That's life. But eventually, men and women, they both have to lower the expectations. But now, don't lower the expectations to lower your value, but lower the expectations and make them realistic towards the people that's in your tax bracket, the people that are in and around your way of living and your lifestyle. Instead of searching for this fake made up lifestyle, instead of wanting this fake made up lifestyle, instead of wanting it, instead of searching for it, nah, ain't no need to want it. Ain't no need to search for it. Because it'll eventually come to you. If you have the right mindset, if you have the right values, you have the right morals, and if you're patient, you'll eventually find someone. And if not, ain't no if not, you will. There's somebody out here for everybody. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And it is somebody out here for everybody. Just takes the right person to see him. And who knows when that will be? Who knows when that time will come? You never know. But we will eventually see. But folks, we talked about a lot. We talked about a lot. We discussed a lot. All right. We talked about a lot. We discussed a lot. We talked about a lot. We discussed a lot. But with this last topic, I really want you to sit with it. Have a conversation with your friends. Have the conversation with people you know. They see our expectations, are our people's expectations a little too crazy these days? Hey, a cup of coffee and a nice good walk, hey, that's sometimes good enough. A first date, maybe getting ice cream, going to a movies, going on a walk. First date being a picnic, that's sometimes good enough. You don't always need to take it to the lobster restaurant, 5-star restaurant. Sometimes that's not needed. Or maybe if you want to make a good impression, then yeah. But not all the time. Let's not do that. If you can afford it, then do it. I mean, that's your prerogative. But you should always want a woman that wants you for you, not for what your pockets can do. Just saying. Just saying. But I believe eventually the internet hype, the internet nonsense, the internet bull jive, it will eventually go away. But until then, hey, folks, hopefully you find somebody that meshes with you, that vibes with you, and somebody that you can build and grow with, but all in due time. Hopefully the tides will change, and they will trend in the other direction. But regardless, folks, that's all I got for you. All right. So today we had a full episode. All right. We talked about Shedeur Sanders. We talked about that guy, Jayden Daniels. We talked about how bad the Falcons have looked. We talked about, my picks for the Super Bowl contenders for this upcoming year. We talked about the Dallas Cowboys. We talked about a little bit of everything today. So with that being said, folks, that's all I got for you. So on the way out, please hit that like button. Please make sure you subscribe. It's been fun. It's been real. This is probably the latest I've ever been on stream with y'all, and it was fun. I stayed on here because I had some people in the chat. Y'all are even having your own conversations in the chat. I love it. I appreciate you. I appreciate the chat. I appreciate everything that y'all do. I appreciate everything that y'all, contribute. All the comments, all the love, all the likes. Hey, I appreciate it. It doesn't go unnoticed. I appreciate you to the fullest. All right, so continue to come back for more. Continue to always, show love to the channel. All right, we will be back, folks. We will be back tomorrow. Nolan Wells update coming at you live. All right, so tomorrow I will be live talking about Nolan Wells. Tomorrow, also, I potentially might hop on here and talk to you about some more sports topics that happened and occurred tomorrow and that occurred that I haven't talked about this weekend. But we're going to get into it all. All right, but without further ado, make sure, once again, you hit that like button, you hit that subscribe button. But please, 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 make sure you please just do me this one favor. Please make sure you send these gems To everybody, including your mom, your daddy, your best friend of another friend, Lil Johnny, Lil Timmy. Don't forget about Lil Susie Sue. Lil Susie need these gyms, so don't forget about her. All right, and Lil Josh just moved across the street from her. All right, so you got to make sure Lil Josh get these gyms too. So send these gyms to everybody. All right, please send these gyms to everybody. I appreciate you in advance. I love you. I'm thankful for you. All right, much love. Much love as always. All right, chat. Much love as always. All right, and until next time, hey, we will be back. But if you want more, all right, make sure you tune in this week, later on this week, and tomorrow for more updates, more sports talks, and more gems. But with that being said, folks, guess what? We out. Deuces. I'll see you soon.
Hey, we live now, really.